Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Sorry, I'm trying to fix the lighting in here. And also, I have one kid home, not because he's sick or anything, but he has some teacher development day or something at school. So he's home, and he will be being picked up by my husband around noon, 12:15, somewhere in there, to go golfing in the rain. So I have my dogs in the crate. Hopefully they will let us do what we do here. But how is everybody? Jess is already excited. I'm already pulling cards. We already have the Three of Cups and the Devil coming out. And the message with this really is, I just heard Carrie Kay's words, how good can it get? But this may be an old friend group or even just one specific friend or family member who means well. This person definitely means well, but there's been an instant level up that you've gone through that they don't understand spiritually or psychologically. They don't get it yet. They will. But for now, please do not take their advice. Do not take their advice. It's well-meaning advice, but it's not correct for who you are and where you're going. It's a projection of something that they, something from their past or just their accumulated efforts toward you from the past that they think, oh no, last time she did something similar or he did something similar. Don't worry about it. You can lovingly say, oh, thank you so much for the advice, but you don't have to take it, whatever it is. And again, this person means well. So you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You can keep the friend or the family member or the whoever and just kind of let the advice simmer or go somewhere else. All right. We have Jessa here. Hello, Jessa. We have Sailor Moon Rocks, aka Kirsten, if I'm remembering correctly. Hello. Try to move my little thing out of the way here. Too many tabs open, not only in my own brain, but on my computer. I missed you guys, though. Yeah, just lots of integration, the headaches have been more headache than migraine. But I've had a lot of them this past week. And after I was like, ooh, I should probably not go live last week so that I can integrate things, then I developed a headache. It's like the instant I gave myself permission to just be, the headache kind of took over. So, but I keep getting the download that these headaches are, especially the ones that aren't that like neck back sourced migraine that I get that wraps around the helmet of pain that I call it, especially not that kind, but the other kind is very centrally, very pineal-esque, kind of behind the eyes, behind the nose, behind the face. I can kind of feel it in my temples too when that comes on. But funny enough, even Wrigley, he's had some allergy stuff going on, but even he has had a headache for like the past 3 days. And he's the least likely of anyone in this house to get a headache. I think he's maybe ever only had a headache a handful of times in his whole life. Yeah, center of the head. But this is just getting us closer to that next. I just heard nexus point. I don't even know what that means. Nexus point. Let's Google. Nexus point. New tab. That's what I want. Like I said, too many tabs open. Nexus point meaning. I don't always know what's coming through, so sometimes it's fun to... Okay, a nexus point is a critical central juncture where multiple elements, paths, or decisions converge, profoundly impacting future outcomes. I sounded very smart just now. Yes, it represents a pivotal moment, connection, or location where transformative change occurs, often viewed as a turning point in personal, historic, or narrative timelines. And I'm hearing all of the above. And I said hurring, so her. Divine feminine, all of the above in historical, personal, and narrative timelines. Oh, Get to Like a Ray has donated. Hello, my dear. Welcome, welcome. Versa's here as well. Hello. Yeah. So I guess we're at this nexus point or kind of coming to this cumulative culmination nexus point. I can talk, I swear. That is leading us into the next era, basically. And these timeline shifts and collapses and merging things, they're nothing new. We've been down this road many times since you and I have been interacting many, many times. But this next point is going to be so crucial, so pivotal, so different, I'm hearing, that it will be very well noticed even among people who just don't get it, so to speak. Oh yeah, Ace of Cups and the Tower. So specifically in how we are relating to ourselves or judging ourselves based on what's going on in the external world. All of this is changing, and it's going to be more of an internal thing that, of course, then becomes an external thing. But these are like internal towers that are detonating, and I'm just hearing self-detonated tower. And you may be like, but Amanda, I didn't want to blow up my life. I didn't want this thing to happen. I didn't want that thing to happen. By self-detonating tower, I mean self with a capital S, as in your true spirit. You know, and that is our true self, but we think, oh no, the one right here, right now, this human ego portion of who I am is who I am. It's who I am. I know it's who I am. It may embody some of who you truly are, but it's not who you truly are. And you're getting one step, another step, continuously stepping and stepping closer to who you truly are. And it's not that you have to become someone or something different. That's something that, you know, for years has been hard for me to wrap my brain around, but it's not something you can like cognitively understand. It's a deep inner knowing that when you really become who you truly are, it's not that you have to step into this new role, or, I mean, yes, technically you're stepping into new roles in your life and down new avenues and all this, but this is by sloughing off what is not you, what is not capital S self, that will allow you to step into these new versions of who you are. Yes, it's a point of no return. That's exactly what this feels like. And this really does feel to me like this is pointing toward, so I was calling it a grand cross. I don't think that's accurate. It's more like a kite or like a grand trine that's happening. No one's really talking about this. The only other person I've seen talking about this is Joni Patry on her Joni Patry Vedic Astrology channel here on YouTube. And for those of you that are like, what is this? What's she talking about? There's this really like non-charted, non-documented thing that's about to happen that I can't looking as far back. I can talk, I swear. Looking as far back as I have been able to look, I have not found anything remotely like this. You'll see the inner planets all being at the same degree, kind of trining or aspecting or squaring or whatever each other quite often. Like that happens often, you know, 2, maybe 3 planets even involved. But what I'm talking about are all 3 outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, plus Jupiter, are all at the exact same degree in the sign that they're in. And for Vedic or sidereal placement, that's going to be at 10 degrees. And I'll kind of spell out which signs and whatever. That's at 10 degrees. So you're going to have to add about 23 to 24 degrees. So that'll put us about 14 degrees of the sign above what I'm talking about. So we'll just start with Pluto because it's the farthest out. So it's going to be at 10 degrees of Vedic sidereal Capricorn. So that'll put us into about 14 degrees of Aquarius per Western astrology. So 14 degrees, next sign above what I'm talking about per Western. So Vedic, we're still at 10 degrees Capricorn. And then you can find out what houses this is for you to see like where this expansion or this big timeline shift is happening. But I mean, really, if you have any planets anywhere within, you know, even a 5-degree orb of these outer planets is a pretty tight conjunction on the outer planets. So 10 degrees of Capricorn will be where Pluto is. 10 degrees of, I almost said 10 degrees of Neptune. 10 degrees of Pisces is where Neptune is going to be. Of course, it's going to push us into about 14 degrees Aries for Neptune's placement. And Saturn is somewhere in the mix. It's not exactly conjunct at this point in July that I'm talking about, but it's going to be in the neighborhood. Then we're going to move up to 10 degrees of Taurus is going to be where transiting Uranus is going to be. My actual natal Scorpio, again, Vedic astrology, sidereal placement, I have a 10-degree Scorpio Uranus in my second house. So this is a literal exact opposition on this date for me personally, which is going to be crazy. But yes, it's that Uranus is in my 8th house, but it's in the sign of Taurus, or that'll put us up to about 14 degrees Gemini for Western. And then last but certainly not least, we will have Jupiter at 10 degrees of Cancer, put us about 14 degrees of Leo in Western. Yeah, so you'll have the Pluto Cancer circuit or channel, or what's that called? Alignment, opposition. Gosh, what do they call that? Axis. There's the word I'm looking for. Lots of words to choose from today. So you'll have your Capricorn and Cancer axis, which is like the 410 axis in the regular chart. We also have the Neptune, which is in a water sign of Pisces, and then Jupiter is in that Cancer. So that's a trine with an opposition from Earth to water. And then we will also have, Uranus in Taurus, trining also on the grand Earth trine. We don't have Virgo lit up, but if you, like me, have a 7-degree Virgo Mars in Uttara Bhadrapada, not Uttara Bhadrapada, Uttara Falguni Nakshatra, in my 12th house, that's also in the mix. So, and my IC is at 6 degrees, which is kind of off of Capricorn. So I have my Venus, my IC, my Mercury is kind of lower down. My personal Uranus is being opposed. My MC in Cancer, and my natal Mars in the 12th house, all being very closely within about 5 to 6 degrees aspected, except my Venus is at 0 degrees. So it's kind of like 10 degrees away. So, but it's my chart ruler, and it's in the house that's my 6th house being very affected. Yes, this is going to be something I talk more in depth about, especially when we are moving to our new platform. We're still going to be here as well, don't worry. And this will continue to be what it is, where we do personal, the donation readings here. But like the collective readings and some of the more, I plan to do like maybe kind of how I used to do in shorts, where I'd do like a 2-card pull and just kind of do a reading for the day. Something along those lines, but it might just be like a photo with a write-up of what's going on, or it might actually be a short video. I might do pick-a-cards, just whatever kind of flips my fancy for the day. Over on Substack, we're going to be moving, not like the whole shebang from YouTube to Substack, but I would like to, just knowing what's coming down the pipe, be able to still be in contact with you guys if YouTube goes dark. That's just a huge priority to me, is to be able to actually have a mailing list of people that I can still contact and communicate with in the future. So that's why we will be moving a portion of what we're doing here to Substack, and it will be very, I promise you, it will be very fun and exciting. And we'll have like our OG legacy members, which would be you guys, because you're going to be the first to know about this, obviously. Yeah, it's going to be, practice canceled tonight. The fields are soaked. Yes, they are. But yes, so it's a way to maybe kind of still do what we're doing here for a while, until that kind of, like I say, there's no hard stop to anything. And I kind of want to keep that energy going, where I don't just pull the plug here on YouTube and say, everybody needs to go over to Substack. I want to have some overlay where we're still doing what we're doing here, at least as far as the personal readings. So some of these might just be a quick, hey, this is what's going on over on the live, even though it'll be probably pre-recorded and sent directly to your inbox every time I would upload or post a video, a reading, or a whatever, would go directly into your email inbox, whichever email that you sign up for on Substack, if you're a member over there. And it will be for significantly less than just the price of one personal reading here that we have now. So hopefully that feels like a good deal to you guys. And yes, I can still use this platform to be like, hey, love all of you, love the vibe here, but also we have something that they can't take away from us over on another platform, where we can go more in depth and actually speak our truth without being so heavily censored. I'm sure I'll still have to watch, certain words and dance around certain topics, but maybe not to the extent that I do have to here on this platform, because I can host the videos and even just like a voice whatever over on Substack without having to jump through all of YouTube's hoops. And plus the fact that I'm shadow banned over here pretty much doesn't help. And the algorithm or just how things run over on Substack is going to be significantly different. Yeah, so that's where we're eventually headed. But again, there's going to be an overlap and a time where I'm still going to be offering personal readings over here, again, for a time. And when things are building momentum, not just over on Substack for that Harmony Portal platform there, but for my writing, my series, I'm going to slow drip my chapters every week over there and build this fun little community. But you guys are definitely the first to be hearing about any of that. That is very, I'll be in my K2 era by that time. So this is going to be next year, probably toward the fall to winter of 2027, if we're really being honest, so that I can have time to do my beta reader rounds and get book one completely where I need it to be, so that I can then send it to an editor, which I think I maybe found my editor. She doesn't know it yet, but intuitively I'm like, my heart is beating. I think I found her and I'm so excited. So yeah, I guess stay tuned for all that. But yeah, so things are finally happening for me in ways that they just haven't been for years and years and years and years. Have I mentioned years? So yeah, there's going to be some significant changes just to the way that I show up, specifically on this platform. Again, it's not like I'm going anywhere. I'm just slowly moving over there, and then slowly we'll be moving more to kind of the collective way of just getting those downloads, those transmissions from my true spirit, and being able to get that information out. And usually, especially those of you that are here that are very intuitive, usually you find your personal messages within, and if you had specific questions about things that if I'm no longer at some point doing personal readings, you guys will be, I would say spiritually evolved enough or connected to your own true spirit enough that you can take the messages for yourself that resonate. I think you guys are already doing that with any collective work that I do. And I will specify the collective that I'm still tuning into will still be, that 1% spiritually awakened. And hopefully as we move into 2027 and beyond, that 1% might grow as wide as maybe 15 or 20% of the population will start waking up, hopefully. Which can then, but collective messages, they still have a way to be personal. So, and not every single person that's awake is going to come find my content. So hopefully the messages will still be deeply personalized, even though they're not personal readings. But at least for the time being, I'm still doing personal readings. It's just, I'm letting you guys know with enough advance notice that I will eventually be moving out of that model and just more into whatever needs to come through for whoever needs to hear it, whenever that is. Yeah. And most of that content will be over on Substack. I will still check in over here weekly, especially as I'm still offering those personal readings, to do those personal readings and to let you guys know, hey, this is what we've been doing on Substack. Come on over. Maybe even doing just a quick mini kind of collective reading over here, but not, the hours and hours and hours that I usually would devote weekly to monthly on YouTube. That energy is going to be somewhere that feels way more sovereign to me than YouTube. I mean, even pretty much since I started YouTube, the word sovereign has never come to my awareness as far as how I feel on this platform. There are fleeting moments where I can feel that sovereignty when we're all together, but I still can't just blah spit out what I want to say because of, all the algorithm traps and matrix tricks that are already put in place to shadow ban what I try to say. Yep, still booking personal readings. I would say I'm doing them live. I did have someone actually book a reading without asking me first. I'm still going to honor that reading. But as far as spending extra time outside of what I've already got going on, and no, I'm not talking about you, Brianna. I'm talking about someone else that just paid and it's like, here's my reading. Which, was fine in the past, but I probably didn't communicate that to everybody, that going forward, just run it by me first before you pay and have your reading, just because I've been devoting so much of my mental bandwidth to just my personal life and, detoxing and cleaning up just my physical vessel and getting back in tune with my writing in ways that I've never been. It just feels really good to finally be like pouring into my cup first. And then if I have time, or not like, oh, I don't have time for you, not like that, but if I have that sacral yes, being the generator that I am, the sacral generator that I am, it needs to be a yes for me, or it's a hell no at this point. And my life is looking very different already, just because I'm really allowing myself to honor that, because knowing that I came here with this very specific design, with the very specific gates and incarnation cross and profile and everything that I have and that I embody, was not a mistake. So if I'm living out of alignment with that, I'm not doing humanity or the world or my own spirit any favors by doing that, even if it feels like in the moment I'm doing that one specific person that I'm, bending my boundaries for in the moment, like, oh, I did them a solid, so it's all good. It's actually not. and that's not just for me personally, that's for all of us. So one of the best things I could, I guess, advise that anyone do is to learn your human design. And you can just, if you're overwhelmed with it, just start with the tropical, just go to what's this one called that I go to? ahumandesign.com, or there's geneticmatrix.com. There's lots of different ones that you can go to, and they're all usually just default to the tropical. And weirdly enough, my tropical placements, I'm like, this is me. Like, how do they know me so well? It's like my Vedic birth chart, even though it's the tropical human design chart. So it's so far. And then I've run up my cosmic human design chart, and I'm like, I was just kind of glitching out, like, I don't think that I'm that evolved. So I'm just going to go with my tropical chart for now. And then once I feel like, not like I'm mastering myself or anything like that, but once I feel like I'm living that alignment, I might then go into my cosmic human design and start going from there. My authority shifts, I think, in my cosmic human design, but I'm still a generator. And I have a different incarnation cross that I'm like, I could never, like, not like in a bad way, but like in a holy cow, okay. But yeah, in tropical human design, I'm right angle cross of the 4 ways 1, which that has been my life story. So all these different cycles and phases, and like, Pluto exactly on my ascendant, blow me up to try something new. I've been doing that my life. That ain't no thing new under the sun over here. But yeah, I'm going to catch up on comments, and we will officially dive in. I've pulled a few cards already. I have my Astro dice out. I have Charm. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for those with the headphones on. I haven't used this in years. Like, I already kind of cleansed it, cleared it, mixed it all up. The stagnancy is real in my tarot closet. Like, I need to just freshen it up and revive the life force energy that is flowing through the tools that I use. The ones I use all the time, they're good to go. But the ones that I'm like, ooh, I haven't used this deck in a hot minute, or this deck, or my Astro dice, my charms, my sayings. Let's just pull one out so I can kind of, I bought a Hay House calendar years ago, and then I would cut the little things off the bottom of every one. This one says, I open new doors of opportunity and abundance each day. So that's good, right? That's what we're all aiming for, I think. We'll get an official message here in a moment. I'm going to catch up on comments, and then, we'll get into it. So yes, we have Get to Leka. Ray has donated. We'll update that list here at some point. Yes, the no point of return. Yes. Oh, Banana Ann S is here. Hello. Yes, long time no chat. It's been a minute. Let's see, 777 on my screen. Sorry, my face is all itchy all of a sudden. Your strongest point is deep knowledge of astrology, tarot, intuition. This makes you special and stand out. Oh, thank you. Pick-a cards will be good. Yeah, I miss doing them. They're so fun. And, kind of as I look back to when I had Patreon, which I loved doing. I loved doing it. But for the 20 plus hours that I was devoting to Patreon a week, making less than $200, I couldn't justify it. So I had to pull the plug. I know money makes the world go round. But yeah, so that's the thing is I can make content on Substack. It's similar to Patreon in the form of you can have different tiers and stuff. I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. I think I tried to over give and even over deliver over on on Patreon, and I think I just need to not do that on Substack and just stick to what it is that I tell people I'm offering and not go so far above and beyond that it's ridiculous. I just need to, do what I need to do to keep that energy flowing and going, but still give everybody the value that they're paying for as well. I still feel that the value I'm providing will still be above and beyond what hopefully they would expect, but just my standards are like way up here for what I feel like I need to give of my time, love, effort, attention, energy for even like pennies thrown my way. Like it's just been my whole operating system of, oh, you threw 3 pennies my way, I better bend over backwards, do a backflip, stick the landing, have my arms perfectly V'd, cheerleader stance. Like it needs to just not be so extreme on my end. Not that you guys are asking for that, but like that's what I just tend to do. So I'm working on the whole people pleasing tendencies, and me shifting into my K2 Mahadasha is gonna like cut the head off of like going way too far above and beyond. It's gonna do that. But as the Substack grows, long boring story short, as the Substack grows, and hopefully there's enough of an income that I can justify keeping the Substack going, then I can just be more playful and fun and creative because I'm being energetically, monetarily, supported for what I do. Probably for about the first time ever, hopefully. At least that's the energy that the transits and my chart and shifting into K2 Mahadasha, I learned, this is something I learned, you guys, that it just blew my mind. But it makes perfect freaking sense for my life. So those of you that know, I'm a Libra ascendant. I have Jupiter in Swati Nakshatra, 11 degrees on my ascendant. Well, my ascendant's at 0 degrees of Libra. So it's about, 10 degrees up, 11 degrees up. But I started my life in Jupiter Mahadasha. If you don't know what a Mahadasha is, it's basically the planetary cycle that so whatever your moon sign is, you find that nakshatra. So I'm Purnavasu moon, Purnavasu nakshatra, ruled by Jupiter. So I will I may not start at the beginning of Jupiter Mahadasha, but I like kind of like double Dutch jump rope. I jump in, So I lived my first 9 years and some change in Jupiter Mahadasha. And having Jupiter in the first house, even for a Libra ascendant, Jupiter hates being in Libra. It's like an enemy to the sign or whatever because it doesn't like Venus. But weirdly enough, I have Jupiter and Venus in a Parivartana Yoga exchange, Venus being at 0 degrees in my 6th house of Pisces, which is ruled by Jupiter, and then Jupiter being in Venus's house. They form I think it's called Danya Parivartana Yoga, which usually means in time, like it's a struggle bus your whole life, but eventually it starts paying dividends. And hopefully I'm going to be there soon. Not dividends like, oh, money, but like energetically feeling like I belong on this planet, So I started my life in Jupiter Mahadasha, and then I moved into Saturn Mahadasha for 19 years. So first 9 years, Jupiter. I was very protected though, because even though Jupiter hates being where it is in my chart, anytime you have Jupiter in the first house, it's a boon for your life force. It's like it cures 1,000 ills. It saves your life over and over and over again. It protects you. Even if it doesn't like being where it's at, it will protect you at all costs. So lots of near-death experiences, shouldn't be here type of energy from 0 to age 9 in that dasha. But then I moved into Saturn dasha for the next 19 years. I have Saturn in the 12th house. So hidden house, been hidden, felt lonely, felt disconnected from, there were certain people I felt very connected to, but like humanity as a whole, I felt very othered most of my life, still do. And then about a year before Boston was born, so it'll be 16 years, or about 16 years since February. Yeah. I moved into Mercury Mahadasha, which lasts 17 years. And my Mercury's in the 8th house, the other hidden house. So I've basically been hidden from not only humanity at large or like trying to speak my truth, but from the matrix itself. Like I've been kind of flying under the radar, even though the matrix has me clocked, obviously, but they haven't really been able to get to me the way they would have been if I was in a first house. Well, they even tried. I won't say first house because I was in a first house dasha, second house dasha, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, ninth, 10th, 11th, any of those dasha cycles, you're seen. People see you. You're available. You're known. You're there. You know. But for 35 years, 19 plus 17, 36 years total, but 35 is where I'm at right now. Be 36 by the time I'm out. I've been hidden. So I've been operating hidden. But as of February 1st of 2027, 2 weeks before we move into the Cross of the Sleeping Phoenix, I will move into my K2 Mahadasha, which is in the third house of broadcasting and writing and finally getting my truth out there. And the cool thing about my chart is it's in my K2 is in Purvashada Nakshatra, which is about like the invincible waters. It's like pre-victory. So I'm like preloaded to finally get my voice out there speaking my truth. I have my Lilith in the same third house and in Mula Nakshatra conjunct the galactic center at 0 degrees sidereal with my Neptune at 3 degrees sidereal. And then my part of fortune, if you're new to that, that's more of a Western tropical astrology thing. My part of fortune is also in Mula Nakshatra, which Mula removes all the BS by the roots. It's ruled by Nariti, the goddess of destruction, and I have Pluto on my ascendant, so like it's perfect for who I am. I mean, I'm like a Care Bear with Lilith energy up in here. So I'm really excited that I'm finally going to be able to broadcast, not just broadcast whatever, but I'm literally being able to broadcast from the galactic center. And my K2 is exactly conjunct Lyra and Vega, the star in Lyra. Avion or Avion, I always pronounce it wrong. Tekka, all like my home planets. My K2 is exactly conjunct my home planets, and I knew this, that I'm from these planets in Lyra constellation before I even knew, you know, wherever your K2 is, that is kind of your dominant energy from if you are like a star seed or whatever. And I don't subscribe fully to the whole New Age star seed. I mean, obviously, there are many of us here from other realms, obviously, but a lot of the way that the New Age tries to spin it is just too flu for me. I don't know. We'd have to do like a whole deep dive on like true starseed stuff versus what the New Age movement tries to pin it as, because it's almost like I just saw like a Labubu. I don't own one. I've never planned to own one, but like I saw the Labubu and then the Lafufu. So it's like the New Age version of what starseeds actually are is like the Lafufu version of a Labubu. And I think those are already like not a thing anymore, or people are already like, next. Bye, Felicia. Yeah. But so just so you know, I'll be much more widely available. But the funny thing, hilarious, cosmic joke that my spirit likes to play on myself. I mean, I am my spirit, but you get what I'm saying. I will still be a ghost in the machine, even though I will be broadcasting. So it's like my persona and who I am will still be like a ghost or ghost-like, K2-like, hidden, but like broadcasting from the rooftops. So that'll be interesting to see how that actually plays out. So I'm looking very forward to this, but I'm also kind of nervous because I haven't been visible since I was 9 years old, except to those who are on the wavelength. You know what? When you know, you know. You guys have seen me. I'm visible to you guys. But as far as like 99% of the collective, they can't see me, really. I'd say probably closer to 85% because there are people who still have a spirit that I'll see in the community and they'll acknowledge me, you know, but most people, like, they will run right at, they do not see me. Like, I am literally hidden. Like, for years, I'm like, why do people literally run into me? And then they won't even apologize. It's like they didn't even realize they ran into a person. Like, what? I've talked to you guys about that before, like even shopping in like thrift stores and stuff. And that's why I normally used to like thrift stores, because they weren't very busy, but now they're busier than like even the mall at this point. Like I can't even really go to Goodwill anymore because there's just people on top of people on top of people. And I don't vibe with that anymore. I need my space. Or if it's like people I'm on vibe with, you can be in my energy all day long. That's perfectly fine. But just random people who are so disconnected from their own spirit, it's painful for me to even be in their vicinity. I can hack it for a while, but I'm putting up all my shields and my bubbles and my protections just to get through it, you know? So I'm looking forward to when that background frequency unplugs next year, and it's going to be the cross of the sleeping phoenix and the underlying keys, the cross of penetration, which I have all those gates. Even though it's not my incarnation cross, I have all those gates. And I have gate 34 from the sleeping phoenix. So I'm looking, and I already have the 5734 channel in my chart. So I'm looking very forward to just the underlying energy actually supporting who I am and what I'm here to do for the first time in 44, almost 44 years at that point. I'll almost be 45. So yeah, I'm just like jabber, jabber, jabber. I promise I'm getting to a point. Let's catch up on comments. We'll get our donation list on. We will do our reading, just what we need to know, because it's a very tumultuous, very chaotic, but yet also exciting time that we're currently going through. It almost checks all the boxes as far as, is this a good time? Yes. Is this a really scary time? Yes. Is this a bad time? Yes. Is this a sad time? Yes. But also their underlying energy of like hope that there's something better taking its place is also there. And even if you've been in a very, I mean, for many years, I would say probably, if we're being truly honest, since around 2021, I've just felt almost like I'm just spinning my wheels in my personal life, in my professional life, in just all the ways. Like I'm almost going through the motions. I'm in the world, but not of it. I mean, this is kind of my, I guess, happy place where I can just really tune in and feel connected to spirit in ways that are just difficult when you're just out at the soccer game or whatever, you know. So being in the world, but not of it. Yes, happy for you. Thank you so much. It's such a beautiful moment. It's so aligned. Yeah, and just, it's like this breath of fresh air, this deep breath and just sigh of relief that I can finally just be who I am without having to over-explain or apologize why I made this choice or why I did this thing or why I didn't want to go to that party or why, like, it's just a no, period, with no explanation. It's like, I could still sit here and justify my whole existence to everybody, but most people aren't even looking for an explanation. But I've always been like, let me over-explain so they understand that I'm not a bad person, that I'm not saying this to be selfish or doing that to be selfish. It's like, no. K2 will help me with that, hopefully. K2 Mahadasha, here I come. All right. Yes, it's awesome. Same. Yeah, collective here is very small, so the readings are personal. Absolutely. And even if they do expand into more people, I'm pretty sure your average person looking for a tarot reader, because I'm not even calling it tarot over there. So it's kind of, if your vibe, you know, your vibe attracts your tribe over there on Substack, I'm either going to call it just Harmony Portal, or I have another kind of word to put in place of tarot that I've owned the website for about 2 years now. But I want to maybe just keep it simple and just call it Harmony Portal, because that could mean a lot of cool things, you know? And I'm not limited, because as I get closer to this K2 Mahadasha, I don't even need these cards anymore. And for a long time, I really haven't, but they're fun. You know, they're fun. They're colorful. They're cute. They tell a story. So I'm not mad at using tarot, but I don't want it to be like the defining factor of, oh, that's a tarot reader. I'm good, bro. Or, oh, she doesn't use tarot cards. She just does intuitive channeling from source or spirit, not spirit guides and all that stuff. I go directly to the source. But yeah, it's like some people are turned off by that because they want cards, and, you know, so I'm kind of I guess, the best of both worlds until something shifts and I just feel like, okay, I'm going in this direction now. Whatever that looks like, I don't know. But I want to get back to the very, not just aesthetic to be aesthetic, but I love creating, like, you know, when I make my card tables for my pick a cards, I love to decorate the table and pair cool little, you know, figurines with some flowers or crystals, or like, it's fun for me just to get in that creative flow of, ooh, I love how this looks together. And then next time I'll do it a completely different way and just see what pops off. And my main character in my series, she's really into like zines, like fan zines, and she makes her own zines and collages for her bedroom wall. I mean, this is the 90s, you guys. There's got to be a collage or two on a wall in my series. So I'm really inspired with like the 90s, like underground music scene and fan zines and all these fun things. And even like 90s teen magazines, especially like Sassy magazine is just, it was almost like the underground of like the Teen and 17 and YM magazine back in the day. If you know, you know. If you never were really into magazines, I mean, I'm not into magazines at all now. I mean, even back then it was just like advertisement after advertisement, but there was something almost special about, like, I can still even picture like some of my favorite issues that I got, like the covers. And then I'll go like on Pinterest and look through like 90s nostalgia and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I even remember a specific article. It was on page 12 in this specific issue." And to go to buy those things on YouTube, not YouTube, eBay now, they're like $40 a magazine. And I have maybe probably closer to 2003, like 2003 or 4. I was still like getting teen magazines even in my early 20s because I just loved them so much. I don't know. I know I still have a handful of them under my in-laws' house in all my totes that are kind of under their kind of storage area under their house. I know I still have a few. I know I don't probably have any before 95 because that's when my house burned down, but I'm sure I have an issue here or there from like, because there were certain issues that I don't know, there were certain fun pictures in them or the cover really drew me in for some reason. But yeah, I just want to get back to that in my personal creations of doing like the collage style stuff. Like I was big on like scrapbooking and bullet journaling and just journaling in general, junk journaling back in the day. I kind of want to get back into that, but in a more digital format. Yeah, I could even show you guys like my back when I was in college. Let's see. I did a lot of like collage-y type animations. Let me see if I can find one just to play it for you without music, because even though I created the sound design for it, it's Apologize by One Republic, I think is the name of the band. Let's see. And I have skits from my old TV show on there and everything. I don't know that I'm brave enough to even show you guys like the name of it. But let me go back to like my old I'll just find yeah, here's one. Whew. It's on 2 times speed. Let's turn that down. I'll just show you. It's like a less than a minute little thing. But this is kind of the, I guess, style. Let's see, when was this one uploaded? 18 years ago. So this was uploaded in October 18th, 2007. Oh, that's funny because that's the day that the sun is exactly conjunct my Pluto in my chart. That's hilarious. Okay. So I'll probably turn it down so I don't get a copyright strike. But yeah, just this is the kind of stuff I was into back in the day, just creating this random, almost avant-garde, bordering on macabre, but also very cutesy and colorful. I don't know. I'm weird, but yeah, just fun things like this that make no sense. They make no logical sense. But then weirdly, I look back, I'm like, actually, this could mean this and this means that. And so weird. But like, how creepy, right? Creepy hat man from the, sleep paralysis. That was my most proud one because it like went exactly to the beat of the music. Yeah. Anyway, just, I mean, there's just a still shot, like creepy as heck, right? But also cutesy and colorful. I don't know. Pluto on ascendant, Lilith in the 3rd house. What can I say? I'm gonna catch up on comments. Enough about me today. I don't know. I just felt like it was show and tell time, I guess. But yes, Cosmic Question Corner. Ooh, yes, I love that. Oh, that will definitely be a section on Substack that we do monthly for sure. Like, for sure. That has to be a monthly highlight that will hit your inbox, and then you can go over there or just watch it from your inbox or whatever. Let's see. Catching up on comments. Yes. Thank you guys for being so supportive today. I mean, not that you're never supportive, you're always supportive, but today especially, you guys are awesome. Thank you. I love the tribe here. Yes. Yep. Still booking personal readings at least into the near-ish future. And by near-ish future, I mean summertime, maybe the fall of this year. But the closer I get pulled into this K2, I'm in what they call Dasha Sandhi, which there's like an overlap. Again, there's no hard stop, pull the plug on these things. They overlap, they overlay. So I'm feeling that K2 pull in all of the places that K2 is aspecting in my houses in my chart. It doesn't aspect my 4th house being in the 5th house, or sorry, 3rd house, but I'm feeling this pull to like K2 energy, like just get rid of it. If it's not serving me, I got to get rid of it in my home, like as far as decluttering and deep cleaning and all that. Like I'm feeling the pull for sure. Yeah, collective energy here is so small. Readings are personal. Yes, yes. You deserve all that time and investment in your own vessel and spirit. Thank you so much. I know. And, I saw a thing on, I think it was Pinterest the other day, and it said the audacity that we tell moms that a shower is self-care. Like the audacity. Because that is just bare minimum to be human, is to be able to be allowed to take a shower. But if you're a mom, especially with young kids, that's self-care. I can't anymore. Yeah. But I mean, I've even put myself in these boxes. Like if I get to wash my hair this week, like that's a luxury. I have all this other, responsibility. And it's not that anyone put that on me. It's just programming and society and my own ego saying, you better be a good mom and put your kids above you. It's like, no, your kids need a mom who's not run ragged. Like that should be bare minimum, Yeah. I shared a profile with you earlier this week, Human Design Hypnotherapy. Oh yeah. I saw that. I'll have to go to her website. I did see, I think, was that the meditation you sent me? Was that her, or was that, I know you sent me the meditation. Yeah, I will look into that though. Yeah, money, finances is basis of everything in the inversion. But here's the cool thing about moving into this. Oh, I didn't bring my book up here. I meant to. I ordered a book on Amazon. It was like, someone on Amazon. I can't remember the guy's name, but it was The Era of the Cross of the Sleeping Phoenix 2027 or something like that. Maybe if Boston comes out, I'll have him grab it and run it up, because I literally can just say hi and I'm talking to the whole house. I'm literally overlooking my living room. So, yeah, but the cool thing is it's not going to be about how you sacrifice your time for that paycheck anymore. Your authenticity is going to be your currency. And this even reaffirmed, like I've been speaking about this authenticity being like the new energy coming in before I even knew anything about human design for years now. I've been talking about that in my pick of cards and here on the live stream. And it's just been what I feel we're moving into, because we've gone so same, like everything's in like cookie cutter cardboard box. I mean, look at the subdivisions, look at Instagram face. I mean, everything is so samed, and we're at the end of that era. So we had to play that out to the extreme. And we're seeing the extreme of it play out right now with people getting these extreme plastic surgeries and trying to look like people who they aren't. And, not that there's anything wrong with it. If you want to fix something or change something, like there's nothing wrong with that. But the reason behind why you're doing it, if you're doing it to look more like Kim Kardashian or, that other baddie on Instagram or whatever, that's not probably a good reason to do something like that. But people do it because they're so unconscious and so driven by programming and algorithms. Hey, Boston.
I know.
My book? Yeah. Thank you. He heard me. I was like, anywhere in this house, he'll be able to hear me. And he was like in his bedroom downstairs with the door closed, or maybe in the bathroom, one and two. Yeah, it's a pretty non-soundproof house for sure. So yeah, it's moving into these authentic ways of being. So if you're already someone who feels like you're on the fringe of society because you're not just like everyone else, you're already 5 steps ahead of the game. Woo! Okay. Anyway, this is the book. I think it was like $11 to $15 somewhere on Amazon. LC Bueno. And of course it starts out kind of telling you the basics of human design, which I still read through, even though I didn't learn anything there. But as far as getting into, they even went back through the past eras, because the cross of planning that we're currently in has been since 1615. But like they went back to the cross of consciousness, which that's Boston's incarnation cross. But that was, the one right before the cross of planning that just played out. And then funny enough, Wrigley's incarnation cross, the cross of contagion, is going to be the one after the cross of the sleeping phoenix ends in 24, whatever year that. Ruth, you're okay. You're okay. I don't know if you guys can hear her. Apologies especially if you're wearing headphones. But yeah, I'm I'm more than halfway through, but once they kind of were spelling out what happened in the different eras already, and you could like connect the dots. It's like, oh yeah, that happened, especially this cross that we've been living in since 1615. You can see all over the place how these gates that are associated with the cross of planning, and then the underlying cross of Maya, and then the mutation from the 1949 channel into the 55 spirit channel that's part of the cross of the sleeping phoenix. There's a mutation that's happening that hasn't happened during all these other shifts. So we have not just a big shift, but also a human mutation happening simultaneously. I have chills. So there's a lot going on. And then we have all these other grand cycles, like a 26,000 or almost 25,960 year, almost 26,000 year cycle that's closing out around the same time. The Hopi speaking about the fifth world, that prophecy is like coming to, if you go read that, it's ticking off all the boxes. Like we're moving into a whole new world, like this is all changing, but it may look chaotic, but this is actually changing for the benefit of humanity and the planet and the animals and the resources, living in sustainable ways, using what God and nature gave us rather than working against it to dominate and be greedy. And like we're moving away from that disgusting war-like energy. But as we move out of this, it's going to feel more like it's worse than ever is how it plays out. Usually it doesn't go die a slow and quiet death somewhere. It screams and it throws every missile and spaghetti and bomb at the wall to like try to stay relevant. But most people, not even people who are awake, but most people are already like, yeah, I'm just not about that. No one trusts the government. No one trusts the media. It's already dying. And, those handful of people that still trust are going to be the ones like with the white knuckle death grip on that cross of planning energy that's not going to be supported anymore. And that doesn't mean everything shifts and changes and crashes and burns overnight, because I personally know I didn't come here for that. I came here for that overlapping energy before detonating everything that we've known our whole incarnation, at least in this life. We're starting to build that scaffolding for the new before the old dies. And we've already been doing that really since the 60s. We've kind of been in that last line, it's the first line, because they go line 6 through 1 when you go through these major things. We've already been in that one line energy of the end of the cross of planning since the 60s, which is most of our lifetimes. Or, if you're here, maybe you were a kid or, a younger adult in the 60s, if you're, older. But yeah, we've already seen so much revolution and change just since the 1960s already. And yes, also in tandem with that, an even deeper, like almost Chinese finger trap death grip on, I want full control over everyone's autonomy. Yet you have, especially the 60s, 70s and beyond, these conscious communities or the hippie movement and the civil rights movement, the women's movement, all this stuff to like, no, you're as a big corporation or government or whatever aren't going to tell me how to live my life. I'm not out here to hurt anyone. I just want to live authentically. And maybe I don't want to do this, and this that you have mapped out for me. I want to do what my spirit calls me to do. And that's what we're moving into, which feels really good to me. Really good. Yeah, money, finances, basis of everything. Yeah, still waiting for that to unravel in a line. Yeah, it will eventually. It might take some time, but we're already seeing it unravel. I mean, everything is super unaffordable. They print money out of thin air. It's not backed by anything. It's already collapsed. It's just they're, it's like I see in the office, staying alive. And then Kevin's like, call it. Dwight cuts the mask off and wears it like Hannibal Lecter, We're already there. It's just, it hasn't had this big announcement that, hey, it's all crashing and burning. But those who are even a little bit sensitive know that this is not it anymore. And we're already, sorry, that's Ruth's collar. We had to get her a vibrating and like sound collar because she will run for hours and bark at the backdoor neighbor. And then this neighbor over here has been yelling at my kids, get your dog in the house, make your dog shut up. So I'm like over it. I'm over it. She's just protecting her perimeter. Yes. So, yeah, it's collapsing, but I guess the good news is it's not all happening overnight, because that's just chaos for chaos sake. We need to create kind of some safety nets of spirit within our collective, the awakened collective, the collective at large. I mean, certain people that are, again, death gripping to that cross of planning, they're going to have the hardest time because they don't see the writing on the wall. They believe everything they're told. It's going to be really difficult for them, but that's not the audience I'm speaking to. So not saying it's all going to be roses and sunshine, but it's going to be a lot easier for you than most people, especially people like Brianna and others of you that have these gates and incarnation crosses that really align with this new energy, or, you just know that the way that we've been living doesn't align with how you want to live. You're already more than halfway there. So give yourself some grace, pat yourself on the back. You've already been doing the thing. So yes. Yeah. And Bersha also has Jupiter in the first house with Saturn. Yeah, my Saturn's kind of lagging behind my Jupiter because I'm born about a year after you. And Saturn went retrograde, and Jupiter started moving forward. But I have a Jupiter, I have Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars all retrograde in my chart. All the 6 outermost planets up to Mars are all retrograde, and then the rest are just normal. I don't have any combust planets, thankfully, but sometimes combust planets can be cool if they're literally Cassini, which means they're the exact degree as the sun. Boston was born on a new moon, so he's got sun and moon Cassini, which creates someone who's very intuitive as well. Yes, girl, preach. Cosmic questions, corner stuff, yes. Oh yeah, I am so excited for the Substack stuff. You guys have no idea. Like, not that I can't be creative here, but I already feel like, I know this is extreme, but like there's a pew right to my head. Like, you better perform at this capacity and not above, as far as algorithms and like what I can say, what I can't say, and how subdued my traffic is to what I've got going on. Ruth, you're okay. Hey, Boston. I don't know if he went out or if he's still here. I was gonna have her let her out real quick. Oh, he's still here. Can you let the dogs out real quick and then get them back in the crate when they come in? Okay. Thank you. It is kind of beneficial to have someone home today, I guess. Oh, girl, I have a side story to tell you. Again, sorry if you can hear that. About a vintage ring. Oh my gosh. I love my backyard. I spend most of my time either in my home or backyard. I love my backyard too. I need to kind of clean up my patio with all the dead mint and some really tall flowers that I had last year. I need to still pull all that stuff out. So my mint is still growing, but there's a lot of dead from last year. I got to cut back and just clean things up back there, plant some new stuff, fun springtime gardening vibes. But it's been cold and rainy, windy, on and off. But yesterday it was so warm. It felt good to be out there at the baseball game. Yeah, I have no idea what the F or how will things unravel for me. I am not putting any list out there to spirit of what I want, as I don't want to limit the miracles that happen. Yeah, and that's something I've done for years, as far as like, oh, manifest this, manifest that. I'm like, I don't want to manifest anything in alignment with my ego. I'm trying to detonate the ego as much as I can so I can live in alignment with the spirit, whatever that looks like. Oh, sorry, guys. I might have to move in here. I don't know why she's doing that. Did she go to the bathroom? Boston? Hey, Boston.
What?
Did she go to the bathroom?
No, she just went right back in.
Oh, okay. Well, we tried. Anyway. And by we, I don't mean me. I mean him. Yes. Oh, I have to book that astrology reading with you only and when you are ready. Yeah. I know I also have Brianna that I'm like, okay, I will get to it. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to go for 2 days over day before and my birthday, and then check out the next morning an Airbnb just to have some alone time, some creative like brainstorming time for not only my Harmony Portal Substack, but my other one, and just kind of my game plan as far as all of my outlines and contacting that editor and just kind of getting all my businessy type ducks in a row, but also having some time to just veg and meditate. And there's a hot tub at this place, so I'm really excited to just be in my own energy by myself without any other real responsibilities other than potentially just feeding myself and whatever the vibe feels in the moment. Like, I don't think I've had that in a very, very long time. So that'll be so fun. So that was my birthday present to myself this year. I'm not that guy. I don't usually buy myself a birthday present. Let's just put that out there. But I'm like, this year, I think I need that. So that's what I did. Yeah. Oh, I had shared pictures of my plants that were thriving till winter. Now they are just unraveling. Yeah. My 2 pink princess plants are like, guess what? I think I'm going to die now. And then I bought a pink, maybe it's a pink theme. What the heck? I bought a little pink nerve plant, or Photonia, I think they're also called. And it was just this cute little like $8 teeny tiny plant. And I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't, obviously. I just came home from that shopping and coffee shop extravaganza, and I put that plant in my window, my south-facing direct sun window. The first day it was fine. Second day, completely wilted. Now all the leaves are crispy. I don't think she's gonna make it. What was I thinking? I wasn't. Oh my gosh. I'm just like, oh, let me just put this right here. I wish I could go back in time and not do that, because it was such a pretty little plant. And I have this kind of terrarium glass kind of shaped vessel. It's like a tall, almost vase looking thing, but all glass on all sides. And it's kind of got these like triangle glass shape cutout things. Are really cool. It's really cool. That I wanted to put that, and then this Tradescantia, this like purple plant that I have. It's Wrigley's, but I wanted to put all that together for Wrigley. Just fun, cute little plants. And now I think I killed the pink nerve plant. So, well, at least I know where they sell them. I could go get another one and not be a dum-dum this next time and put it directly in sunlight. That's just going to fry its delicate little leaves. Can't believe I did that. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, she was talking about, oh, wait. I need to skip back up here. I need to catch up on comments and get going here. You have no idea. Yeah. That's the thing, is don't limit your manifestations to what your ego wants. Because even if you think, oh, this might be what I want for my life, but even the things that I really wanted to pop off, like on YouTube or whatever, I think there may have been a bit of ego involved. The fact that I was even checking how many subscribers I have or how many views that got, that tells me I was an ego, you know? And now I really don't care. As long as the energy exchange is there, like, I'm here. Let's do it, you know? That's all that matters, is just the energy. And that's the thing, is as we get closer to this new energy, if the energy exchange isn't there, people are not going to sacrifice anymore, because the background energy does not support self-sacrifice, self-sabotage the way that it always has, or at least for the last 400 years has supported it. Just to remain part of the tribe, that's not supported anymore at all. So if you're self-sacrificing to keep people on your line, reeling them in, not going to work anymore, especially as we move toward 2027 and of course beyond. Not going to work anymore. So we got to find new ways. If that's, I don't really usually operate that way anyway, but you know, I know a lot of people that are like, I hate my corporate job. It sucks my soul, but like they give me a paycheck and, you know, my boss tells me what to do, and it's easier than me being a business owner. And maybe in some ways it is, but it's also not probably authentic to that person that feels like their job sucks their soul. So we can't live out of alignment for much farther, much longer anymore. And my alignment is different than your alignment, your alignment, your alignment. So we're going to all have different parameters through which we will operate, or need to duck out or dip out or go all in on something. You know, we're all going to have different ways of operating, and it'll be much more conductive to who we actually are designed to be, rather than just put that square peg in the round hole that I'm always talking about over here. Just, you know, dim your light to fit into this role. Like, that's not going to fly anymore. Yeah. I was going to say my mom is purging her scrapbook stuff. Oh my gosh. Cannot wait to read the second book. Well, I have up to about the midpoint that's seen by my critique group. I could totally send that to you, Versha, if you want to read it. Again, it's in first draft, like rough first draft status, but oddly, my first draft rough status is about everyone else's second or third draft, because I clean draft. I don't speed write. I have to clean draft. Like, that's just how I do it. So if I don't have a full thought, I might leave myself a note with brackets, like, okay, let's expand more on this dialogue or put more description here. But I don't even have that level of rough draft in what you would read, because it was draft enough to send my critique group. So it's pretty good to go. I mean, I'm still going to run it through 2 to 3, 4 more drafts for sure, but you know, for sure. Yes. I loved it. Yeah, so Substack will be recorded stuff. Yes, it'll be a mix of recorded stuff, written kind of articles, or readings, I guess. Maybe even short video content, but like the live stream, like the bulk of like our big, collective reading will be over there from now on. I might tease what's going on here, and then of course do the personal readings and all that stuff over here, but Substack is going to be where it's at. And there'll probably be 2 different tiers and a free version as well. But again, free is very limited to what you'll get, because the energy exchange for free everything just isn't going to be here in the new era at all. Not that people can't give free things out, but it has to be from a very, which is how I do mine, from a very like, I have some overflow to give, so let me give it, rather than let me give all this free stuff that hopefully someone will take pity on me and hire me. Like, that energy is gone and it's dying away quickly. It's unraveling very quickly. If you're just doing a free one just because it lights you up and it's exciting and you just want to do it for free and you don't expect any kind of monetization, that's totally fine. But we still have to eat. We still have to pay our bills. We still gotta energy exchange if it's something we're spending our life force on. Moving forward, it's going to be imperative. And a lot of people who are just grinding on YouTube, trying to make it, putting out all these free videos and not getting anything out of it, you're going to see a lot of those people just have to go somewhere else and do something else, or find ways to finally make that thing energy exchangeable, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, you deserve this upgrade. I'm so happy for you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm so ready for just, again, the equality of the energy exchange that's just never really been there for me. I mean, in certain ways, like where we're at here, perfect, works great. But me doing all the pick of cards and bending over backwards and trying to, spend all these hours editing and making things really beautiful and making sure the messages are popping off, but like nothing's happening and I'm shadow banned, like I can't continue in that energy. So I'll go in directions that are actually feeding into my spirit rather than depleting, if that makes sense. Not that you guys deplete. I'm talking about when I got shadow banned and I'm just still doing, 20 to 30 to maybe even some days, some weeks, 40 hours of work and getting $3.65 on the back end of YouTube. Like, no, it just can't. It can't keep going that way. Not just for me, but for all of us. Like, it's so out of alignment that why are we doing this to ourselves? Yeah, I feel different. It's go time. It's hard to even put into words. The feeling right now is pure action. I love that. And I'm like in kind of planning action right now. Yeah, like I've got all these ideas, all these downloads about how things will be, as far as like how I'm setting up my different stuff for my chapters when I start bringing those out into the public in the ways that I will. It's all going to be very cryptic though. I'm not going to advertise at all. It's just going to be like the vibe attracts the tribe. I'm not going to try to shout from the rooftops or market myself in any way, because whoever needs to find this book series will find it. And it's mostly going to be this like word of mouth. Oh my gosh, I read this chapter of this book on Substack. You gotta, people telling their friends about it. Like that's how K2 grows. K2 doesn't have to try to fit itself into these niches or I'm not even going to niche myself down at all. Nope, not doing it. I might have to once all those first book chapters are out and I have it in book form and want to publish it and, sell it in, retailers. You kind of have to pick like 2 to 3 genres to market so they know where to put you on the shelf or, in the category for like Amazon, if you're buying a book on Amazon or something. I probably would maybe probably have to niche myself down at that point, but out of the gate, nope. It's just, you may not even know what you're reading, but you're reading it. Yeah, there it'll be. But yeah, yeah, it is definitely a different energy that we're moving into that I've never quite felt, with the underlying energy also supporting the direction I know I want to go. Because there have been multiple times throughout my life that I have this burning spiritual desire to move in a direction, but like society and culture and the underlying energy of what's going on just do not support me. Oh, you want to do that? You want to shine bright? Well, hey, shadow ban. That sounds good to us. Doesn't sound good to me. Yeah. Oh, not the meditation. Text you website. Thank you so much for that. Perfect. Yeah. Some people are very superficial these days, just looks, age, etc., not able to see beyond. Yeah. And that's, I'm like, this is me. I'm almost 44. Like, I'm not gonna go try to put myself in a younger looking box for anybody. Like, if I want to dress differently or do my hair differently or my makeup differently, like, that's cool. But like, I earned every one of my fine lines. Like, I don't have a lot yet, but like the ones I have, I'm like, I earned that shit. Like, why would I want to go and erase it? If my body wants to start like aging in reverse and doing things because I'm fueling it correctly, and then that horrible background frequency that's been siphoning our life force energy turns off, and our telomeres are now allowed to lengthen again and strengthen, and we kind of age in reverse. Like, I'm not mad at that. That's natural. That will be a natural byproduct of this just background frequency that many of us can't hack anymore. We'll be unplugging and we'll be able to finally breathe for the first time in 44 years or 48 years or 22 years or however old you are. You'll be able to breathe and feel supported, and when you're lit up with spirit, you start looking younger. Like, it's just a fact. I guess I kind of at least a little bit got a head start having a Gemini moon. Purnavasu moon specifically is very much, they look way younger than they are. Most people are like, wait, you're in your 40s? I thought you were like 32. I'm like, no, I'll be 44 next week. It's funny. Yeah. A lot of superficiality out there, but it's because people have been so disconnected from their spirit. They don't know any better, But once that background frequency turns off, certain people might start like looking around like, do I even want this? Like, what am I doing to myself? And start to wake up, not just with their looks and whatever, but like just the way life is, it's just going to feel very foreign for people who are just trying to go along to get along. Those of us that have already been misfits in this reality, we're going to feel like, okay, finally, it's our time to shine. Finally. Yeah. Aw, say hi to Ruth. Yep. Ruth wants some cuddles. She probably does. Yeah. Oh my God. The website I shared with you, she is also talking about the mutation. Oh, the kids born after 2027 will be operating in a penta energy. And that's why there's been, since the late 70s, early 80s, 90s, and into today, just this uptick in what we'd consider like neurodivergence. This is direct, I have chills. This is this mutation from that 49th gate to the 55th gate in the solar plexus is directly linked because we're kind of like the bridge energy. Those of us neurodivergents here now are kind of the bridge energy between neurotypical and these rave children that are going to be born. But my own personal download about the rave children, even though they may not be, they're still human, but like evolved, I guess. But what I've channeled is from my own spirit, not from guides and all that BS, is the fact that they are actually anchoring frequencies. So they're almost acting as when I really tuned into the energy of it, what I got was, it's almost like this mycelium network of like mushrooms have these like mycelium network under the roots, in the roots or under the ground that will anchor in and help humanity. They almost act as like, I don't know, almost like the pyramids did originally, or other ley lines and stuff. Like these human, pentas, these groups that they form will almost act as stargates within themselves. And not to say that an individual person like you or me also isn't a stargate. We absolutely are. But just they're in a more collective, pure source frequency mode that doesn't really have a personality or any kind of ego that has like their own agendas or any, like they're very much about collective evolution and raising of vibration and all that. Like that's what I got. But a lot of people who are tuning into these are like, these are an atrocity. They like, this is not evolution, this is devolution or whatever. I'm like, I mean, I'm pretty sure the frequency and what's going on knows better than your human BHD mind or whatever. It may be scary because it's different to some people, but when I feel into it, I just feel nothing but pure love. So there's that. So, there are certain, camps that are like, maybe these people need to be feared by, maybe they're here to like take us over. No, they're here to literally anchor source code energy to allow this planet to get back to what it needs to be, to get this false matrix to collapse. Like that's what I'm getting from it. And not every single person born is going to be a rave either. You're still going to have humans that are, I would say though, still, if you're a human born after 2027, your lifespan is probably going to be significantly longer than those born before. But I've even tuned in that, someone like me born in 82, like I could easily just once they unplug this wretched background frequency and the matrix isn't being able to use, or, the archons, the tricksters that feed off our louche energy, our emotional waves that we create, whether you have a defined solar plexus or not, if you have an emotional reaction to something, you're creating something that these things can feast on. That's shifting to where it's not going to be a motor, like an energy center. It's going to be an awareness center, that solar plexus. So the matrix will still exist, yes, but they won't be able to feed on us just by hooking in and just taking a nice little bite out of us, energetically speaking, anymore. Unless you're still operating death grip, white knuckle to that old energy, then of course you're free game for them. But if you're already like, get away from me, I want nothing to do with this, I'm going to shine my light and do what I need to do, they have no hook into you anymore. So there may be what feels almost like instant healing. As we really move into this energy, it might even feel like miraculous healing, baggage, trauma, wounding from our past, just sloughing right the F off. And that feels so good to even think that that's a potential, let alone that is what's going to happen, especially as we lean into our authentic expression of our spirits. They're going to have nothing to hook on to in the ways that they've had just free, unbridled access to us till now. It's going to be great. Just that alone, I'm like, if you told me that back in 2016, I'd be like, okay, this is worth the wait. Let's do this thing. But no. But it's still, yeah. And again, it may not be that overnight, because there will be that reverberation of maybe we're still getting used to this mutation for a minute and they're able to hook into that energy still and harness it. But it will be dramatically less capability that they'll have to do that, especially if you're awakened and aware individual. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Oops, it just jumped. Let me go back up. Catching up. I'm going to try to catch up and not keep going off on my tangents. I'm enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it, but I still want to get to what we're here to do today too. Yes. Yes, have to book that reading. Yes. Okay. We'll figure that out. Shared pictures of my plants. I think I read that part. Yep. Might go to Myrtle Beach for my solar return. So hopefully I will connect with the ocean. I love that. Yeah, I can wait for when you are ready. So looking forward to the first book printed. Me too. I'm so excited. Oh, Raylene did that last year, right? Oh, what? Booking an Airbnb for her birthday? I can't remember what we were talking about when you said that. Oh my God, word of mouth is what I have been feeling about my art or anything. Weirdly enough, anything I've ever done, as far as my photography business, my tarot reading stuff, just in person or online, has all been word of mouth. I've never taken out any kind of ad or been like, hey, promote me in any way on any platform. It's always only ever been word of mouth, because that feels authentic to me, rather than trying to be a salesman and try to be like, this is why you need to buy from me. Even though I have a 2-year degree in sales and marketing from back in 2003, it's never resonated with me to like manipulate anyone into buying what I'm selling. Ever. I can maybe on something like this tell you the benefits of what I have to offer, but I'm not going to be like, and you need to buy it in the next 49 minutes or it is gone for good. Like, ew, yuck. No, I'm good. Word of mouth is, oh, yeah, I read that. Oh, you don't need to. I don't know what Ryan's saying. You don't need to about. Oh, that's my husband, by the way. If you guys are wondering, you'd see my face in his profile picture with him. Hello, Ryan. Yeah, people get triggered after seeing my gray white hair as if I offend them by adorn. I have a few, like, and it's like silver. It's like glittery. It's like strands of glitter when I find one. I'm like, that is cool. Like, people will pay for those like glittery hair strands and they'll like put them in, but like, God forbid it's natural silver or gray. God forbid. I guess red hair. Well, I have a little patch. You can kind of, I don't know. This lighting is not it, but I have a little patch right here that maybe are like 10 or 20 little silver hairs that kind of go together and kind of have a little silver streak. I love it. I love it. You can barely see it, but when it's out, I'm loud and proud about it. I don't care. But I guess red hair doesn't go gray, so to speak. It just turns white or silver. And it takes a longer time. It kind of starts to desaturate over time. Like when I was born, my grandma Kiefer, who had red hair, hers was more of a brownish red rather than like orangey fire red that mine's been most of my life. But her hair was more like a sandy brown by the time I was born. And she was 50. Let's see, my other grandma was 52 when I was born. No, yeah, 52, because she was born in 30 and I was born in 82. So she'd have been 52 and her birthday's right before mine, a couple months. So that would have made my other grandma 5 years older. So 57. She was 57 and just kind of had this sandy brown hair with maybe some like silver within it. And even when she died at 97, yeah, she died when she was 97 a couple years ago. She still had like some kind of sandy brown within her hair at 97. So it never went fully gray or fully white or fully. My other grandma's hair was like snow white, really beautiful. But she smoked, so it was kind of blonde in the front. Like, you dyed your hair blonde, Grandma? No, it's just the cigarette smoke. But yeah. So either way, I'd be cool. I do love having red hair. I'd be sad to see it just go. Like, I'd be really sad. I do like it. I hope it stays around a while, but if my genetics have other ideas and are like, let's go sandy, let's go silver, let's go white, I'll do it. Whatever, it's fine. I'll do it. Yeah. Yeah, finally, I have full body chills as you're talking about the kids. I know, right? Yeah, remember the mushroom dreams? Oh my God, that's right. Yes. That makes more sense to me now. Yeah, I kind of got that download. I haven't got to the part where they're talking about raves in here, but I've watched a few different like podcasts or whatever on YouTube, kind of in depth about the raves and the Crest of the Sleeping Phoenix, 2027 era energy. Almost discussing them like they're animals. And it really put me off to certain creators that were talking about these beautiful divine beings as basically animals that need to be controlled. Ugh, gross. I'm good on that. No thanks. No, there's a reason this is happening. So they're not going to come and, hurt you in any way. Just take care of them and let them be who they're here to be. Like, what are we doing? Yes. Yeah. Growing from my feet like a network. It's like a natural network that these raves are creating. It's really cool. Oh, hello. Yes, I did see a donation come through. So we will mark, I think it was Barbara, right? Let me know if that's not you though, but we will update that list. I'm just jabbering today. We're almost an hour and a half into this and I'm just still talking. It's too fun. I'm having too much fun. But this is what happens when, I went from going live twice a week where I didn't feel like I had to literally spill my guts to everything that's been going on in my life. Because I'd see you guys at least every 3 to 4 days. And now that I'm back to once a week, and then if I, have some integration or a migraine or a headache or something going on that day, it becomes 2 weeks since I've seen you. And then I'm like, blah, 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 like trying to catch up with my friends, like, oh, all this happened. And then this happened. And then this, and then this. maybe I need to go back to being live twice a week just so I don't do this. I don't know. I mean, I'm not mad at going live twice a week if I have time. In fact, I really do miss going live twice a week. So we might bring that back for a bit as I stabilize whatever it is I got going on in my life, you know? Yeah. Marketing, that's right. You're built for marketing, but you do it in such a way that it's not predatory, like salesman, like used car salesman. You have the way to do it, Jessa. Like you're on it in so many good ways. Yes, you can be my marketing. Left a PayPal bit ago. Yep, had to leave for a few minutes. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. Not at all. Yep. About making her, looking like everyone else. Yeah, I definitely don't. I definitely don't look like everyone else. That's for sure. And I'm cool with that. Yeah, about making her channel private on Telegram and YouTube. Oh, gotcha. Yes. That's what we've been talking about. Yep. Yeah, I didn't manipulate. So maybe that's why I'm not popular, right? And that's the thing, is if you're not like up in people's faces, like giving them 60 doses of your content every day to every week, you're not relevant. It's like, no, like there's kind of like a commodity in something that's more sacred and contained and just not gonna spill its guts into every nook and cranny of the algorithm. Like there's something about being exclusive, you know? Exclusivity is like the new Instagram face, if you ask me. It really is gonna be. Exclusivity and contained or curated, cultivated energy exchange where you're only willing to give so much of yourself without bleeding yourself dry. But there's so many creators out here that will burn out because they've bled themselves dry. They've let the internet into every nook and cranny of their home, their private life with their kids, life. Like, where do you go from there? Like, I mean, I've shared some things like over on my AuthorTube, like when I was vlogging and stuff. But like, even then, I'm like, they don't need to see my kids' bedrooms. They don't need to see this nook and cranny of my house. They don't need to see everything and me share everything. I mean, not that I have anything to hide, but like, you know, there's like this just divine essence within just not putting all your info out there, you know? Yeah. That's all right though, you know? Yeah. If that's what they want to do, they can do it. I might not be online during my reading. Please timestamp. Absolutely, get to Laka. No worries there. Yeah, getting late today. Oh yeah, you're across the world from me. That's very true. And I've just been all day today. I miss you guys. I have a lot of those glittery silvers, almost a full top head. That's beautiful though. And it's cool because Versha, your hair's dark already. So it almost is like a stark contrast to what you've known your whole life. To go from like really dark hair to really like silvery white hair. Kind of cool. Oh, YouTube glitched. Sorry about sending you into tangents. No, I love it. I love it. Let's get to the collective and the reading. Yeah, we'll contact you for marketing once I know what I'm going to do. I love it. But Versha, you know, even if you're an artist, you can still write about like the process of your art. You can do Substack if you're a creative of any kind, or a straight up writer, or someone who does other kind of things. Like Substack is not just for people who want to write essays. Like when I first heard about it, I'm like, oh, writing. Well, I mean, obviously I write a book, but like, I don't see how that will work. And then I just kept hearing Substack. Say that 5 times fast. It almost sounds like Substack. But yeah, it's for everybody, really. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if you had an idea of something you wanted to express and create or curate, someone could help you figure out a way. If it wasn't you, if you didn't figure out your own way, you could probably hire someone to consult on like, how could I make this Substackable? Not like you have to, you know, put yourself in a box that doesn't belong to you, but like, how can you make Substack work for you is kind of more where I'm talking about. But yeah. Yep. Very cool. Yeah. Jessa, I swear you could literally start your own business as just like a marketing consultant for like all sorts of, like, you got fashion, you got makeup, you got solar, you got like all these like kitchen witchery type stuff. Like you could be a consultant, like, again, the times of having to niche ourselves down into like a singular organism, like single-celled organism, are over. They're coming to an end because we are multifaceted, multidimensional source code beings. How could we just say I'm this one thing and that's all I'll ever write about, ever talk about, ever film about? That's almost gross, you know? Like, that's probably why I talk so much about personal stuff and just random other stuff on my live stream, because even though we're here for tarot readings, we're doing other things too. But just to expect human beings who are multifaceted to just be one or two or maybe three things tops, that's not in alignment with us. So we're gonna be moving into this time where we can maybe offer, like, this is kind of my overarching thing, but like you might get a little dose of this, a little hint of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know? That's kind of where we're moving. And I'm here for it because that's who I've always been. Like, ADHD brain, autism brain, whatever. Just, I'm not built to just be one thing. And in fact, I like to try on different hats, literally and figuratively. I mean, my overall kind of look, I think, has been the same since my early 20s, pretty much, when I stopped straightening my hair. Like, this is what you see is what you get. But yeah, I've been looking more to, like, again, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, I was talking to you guys about, like, I want to incorporate more color into my wardrobe. Like, I don't know, mid 2000s me would never have worn a bright orange beanie with a cartoon 21 Pilots Ned character on the hat, and then a bright green hoodie and a bright coral hoodie. Like, I'd have been like black on gray on black on gray on dark blue. Like, that was my vibe back then. Cause I'm like, I don't know. I just felt like almost invisible to the world. So I'm like, let me just, but like, I just starting to come out of my shell again, having a nice bright water bottle even. I'm just ready to live my best 90s teenage girl era again. Not like me going back to that, but like, I was a very colorful dresser in my teens. I wore a lot of jeans, like bootcut jeans, but like my top was always really a cool print or a pattern or colorful in some way. I always put like fun scrunchies in my hair, and like especially middle school and stuff. Like, I was all about the accessorizing back then. Jessa knew me back then. She remembers. Yeah. Anyone remember Lovely Lady Locks, I think was the doll? And it came with these little clip-in critters that had like a curl or a crimped or even a straight like aqua curl or a purple crimped little vibe that you just clip it into your hair for the day. I literally sent, every time I had this pen pal that she used to live in Libby and then she moved away. Every time I would email, that was not a thing back then. Every time I would write out a new letter, I'd send her one of those until I didn't have any left because she loved them. And I'm like, I'm going to make her day. So I gave them all to Cassie. Cassie, if you're watching, you're welcome. They were so fun though. Yeah, marketing is, you're right. I mean, that's true. Yeah, plus it's all connected, like a soapbox about the Super Bowl halftime show being hypocritical. There you go. Absolutely. There you go. Yeah, I've been a jack of all, maybe master of few, but everyone told me I have to be very good in one and ride with it. See, that was me. Jack of all, whatever, master of maybe one or two, but like jack of all trades for sure. Like, all the things I've made and done and created that I'm just like on a whim. Oh, let me, like in my room, I have it's very dusty, but I could probably show you guys. I might have showed you guys before. I think I showed you guys before, but like when Boston was really little, especially, I wanted to create things for his birthday party that I wasn't going to pay thousands of dollars to have, but I knew he needed it for his party just because, you know, party vibes. So I learned how to, it's like rock hard, but it's called paper mache clay. Can't remember her name. Oh, she's here on YouTube. Just Google or YouTube search paper mache clay. She's got a recipe on here to do your own. And I would just bunch up newspaper and then I'd masking tape it into the shape. I made Wally. I made Eve from Wally. And then I hung them from my ceiling. There's still holes in the ceiling down there to prove it. And I didn't hang them. My husband did. And then I did Jumpsuit Mountain for the 21 Pilots. And that's not what it's literally called, but it's the mountain range from the Jumpsuit music video. I made that for Boston's 8th birthday. And then one in here. I'll just show you real quick. And then we're going to get into our collective. I'm going to shut my mouth. But I'll show you guys since it's literally right here. And it's dirty and dusty and needs paint touched up and all the fun things. But this is the University of Montana mascot popping himself out of a wall. I've never sculpted before, but I just am like, you know what? I bet I could. And I did. The closer we get, the dustier he is. But he has even like the netting, like the screen netting eyes. And yeah, look, rock hard. I mean, this finger right here broke off once because it fell in the kids' room. It fell and cracked off, but it's pretty stiff and sturdy. Yeah, and I just put it on like an old, this was from a canvas that I ordered from my photography business back in the day. And I just, yeah. So it doesn't hang because it kind of bows. It dried and it kind of bowed a little bit. So I don't know. I can't just throw it away though. It's so big and cumbersome, but it's fun. Maybe the University of Montana would want it someday if I cleaned it up and kind of touched up the paint. I don't know. It was fun to do though. Yeah, it's like, am I a master sculptor? No. But also, can I find my way around some paper mache clay and some masking tape and newspaper? Sure. Very fun. Oh, Amanda's here. Hello. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. And she sent a donation. All right. Well, speaking of, we'll catch up on these last few comments. Yeah, marketing is marketing. Accessories were cheap. Oh my gosh. And very plentiful. Claire's in the mall in Kalispell. All the fun little places we get our little butterfly clips and stuff. Oh my gosh, so fun. I loved the 90s. Yeah, even like Delia's catalog and these other little catalogs that you'd get. There was another one, Alloy. I used to, weirdly enough, I loved Delia's, but it was way out of my price point as a teenage girl working at McDonald's or the movie theater or babysitting, you know, wherever I was working at the time. I loved the vibe of Delia's catalog, but I never ordered anything out of there. But I did order from Alloy catalog a few times because it was more in my price point. And by price point, I mean shirts under $20 and stuff, you know, epitome of fast fashion. But, you know, when you're a teenager on a budget, you got to do what you got to do because the shipping prices back then were on par with what they are now. You pay like $5.95 shipping or $7.95 shipping back in the day. You're like, man, that's half my paycheck if you're babysitting. But yeah, anyway, let's just see. Oh, I wish I could just meet you and a few others here and give them a hug. Maybe someday that could be a thing. Like we just all meet up somewhere, you know, that would be so fun. I know. I always wonder like what would happen if this many like awakened people were in one place at one time. I know people will meet in Sedona and do all these, you know, what do they call them? Retreats and workshops and stuff, which I think is cool, but I've never been to one. The closest I got was Alba Weinman's. It was a hypnosis thing over the weekend back in 2019. It was the year my mom's house burned down. So it was 2 years after my hypnosis with her. And then she'd reached out. She's like, hey, do you want to come for free and just like check everyone in and kind of be my assistant for the day? I'm like, well, let's do it. So I got to get into that one for free. My mom and my cousin Tanya, who comes here sometimes, we all went to, well, my mom and I drove over together. Tanya met us and we all stayed in the same room. It was like girls night in, like in the hotel room at night. It was so much fun. Like that was really fun. That was my closest thing to any kind of retreat ever that I've ever been to. Yeah. It was Alba Wyman session 151. I think she's on like almost session 800 at this point. She's gone above and beyond. Yeah, if anyone ever wants to just search on YouTube, Alba Weinman session 151 or Alba Weinman 151, and I'll pop up. And my mom is 152 right after mine. Yep. Oh, I remember the Wally sheet we used for Odin's Do More Pictures. And then he peed on it. That was so funny. Yeah, we had so much fun with that. All right, let's get into our readings. Then after reading collective. And then after that, I'm going to update our donation list. I will set a timer and I will be strict about it because I just blah, blah, blah all day. I mean, I still have well over an hour and a half before I need to do anything else. So we're good. But yeah, let's get into our collective. Just what we need to know about all the energy that's been going on. this came out earlier. If you were here at the beginning, this came out with the 3 of Cups, it was. And there was a very distinct message earlier about someone wanting to give you kind of unsolicited advice that they mean well, but it's just not for you. I'm getting a slightly different message coming through with this. This is about the, as we're kind of, they call us, as we move from the cross of planning into the cross of the sleeping phoenix, human intransitus. So we're born with the old, well, weirdly enough, oh, my thing's glitching out a little bit. Can you see me? Put a 13 if you can see me. Divine feminine, 13, 13. Well, weirdly enough, since about 1781, correct me if I'm wrong, those of you that know, when the mutation to create projectors was on, we went from a 7-centered chakra being to a 9-cent. And let's just be honest, I think I'm at like 141, 100 and some different chakras that I've tuned in energetically and found just in my own energy field. So it's not just 9, but I guess 9 major chakra points. But that's not even counting the soul star, earth star chakras that I know to be there too. But we went from a 7-centered being to a 9-centered being. So when you run up your human design chart, you'll have 9 different centers, either defined, undefined, whatever. So we already are equipped to be able to do that. It's just once 2027 pops off, we'll be born with, people will be born with the ability to live longer and, have that solar plexus just comes in already as an awareness rather than that emotional motor where, the matrix can feed. So look at that. The Devil card. So this is about maybe the tendency, as we're in transitus here, kind of in this overlapping energy, the tendency to maybe fall back into old patterns, specifically in relationships, with your children, with your spouse, with, people in your, working environment, just people you see on the daily to weekly, where you're making these changes or these leaps or shifts, maybe setting different boundaries, and then you catch yourself. I do this all the time as well. It's not like, oh, I'm calling you guys out. Like, we all do this, where we're making these changes and then we will blur our own boundary. Like, that's what this is saying. So just being mindfully aware of where your boundaries are when you're crossing your own boundaries, when other people are crossing your boundaries, and just, oh, wow. Okay. So we have 2, these almost to me go hand in hand. They feel like the beginning of the family and then what you're building. So especially with something that you're building or trying to create, this could be a business, this could be a creative project, this could be literally your family dynamic, whatever that looks like for you specifically. Because at the heart root of this card, I always say is really beautiful, even though it's the Devil card, is about creative life force energy, sacral chakra, sexual energy, and using it for the correct things. Fueling your creative project rather than just allowing a big loose harvest from the matrix, or the matrix tricksters, as I call them. This could even look like just cleansing or clearing your home, or this is a card of contracts as well. Just seeing which contracts in your life are no longer serving you and where you're going. Contracts that are maybe things that you're doing for others that you feel like, okay, they can kind of take on that. Perfect example for me with my kids is like, hey, no, you can both unload and then load the dishwasher. You don't need to wait around for me to do one of those things. Like, you're growing boy anyway, you can do it. Like, I have faith in you. Like, I don't need to be the one to have to step in and complete the job, so just kind of potentially having a conversation, especially with your nearest and dearest, because we do have the 10 of Cups here, which is about emotional fulfillment in your most intimate connections with your, the people that you love, especially if there are people that live in your house, even if they're just roommates or, whatever, even your pets, whatever, about being able to have these emotional connections, but without crossing boundaries, or you crossing their boundaries, them crossing your boundaries. This feels like this is such a collective energy right now, because the way that we're going to relate to each other is shifting. We're relating from I scratch your back, you scratch mine, these like bargains that we form in, especially the marriage gate, the marriage channel is going dark in 2027. So even the way that we define like husband and wife, or, you know, whatever, it's moving more toward like a sovereign union or divine counterparts, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. There has to be more of a spiritual connection than just, hey, you pay the bills and I'll keep the house clean, or, you know, that's just probably the most basic way I could put that. But I know at some point they get more into, I'm not there yet in this, but in this book they're going to get into the relationship part of it, and even relationships like with how we relate with AI, or how we use AI or allow AI to use us. You know, these are shifting, these are changing right before our very eyes. Like in this now moment, these things are changing and shifting, and only going to get more, I don't know, we're intense maybe as we get closer to 2027, because that background frequency, we're starting to feel that new frequency. We're already been feeling it really since 2020. And it's just becoming more like, you know, when you're in a store and you hear a song, you're like, I think I know this song. What is this? What is this? But the people are around or too loud or something's going on. But then you finally catch the melody of the song. You're like, oh, that's it. That's the song. I thought that was the song, and that's the song. And then you can clearly hear the song because you already know what word's coming next. You can hear it. That's how this is right now. It's like you can hear it, you can feel it, you can taste it, you can almost touch this new energy, but yet it's still kind of out of reach. You really got to strain to hear it a little bit. But also, as we more move close to this new energy, it's going to swap, or almost like a pole shift, if you will, to where the old background frequency that we've been in since we've been incarnated in this life will start to feel like that distant song. But many of us that are here right now aren't going to try to strain to hear that old bargain, that old energy, because we're like running headfirst into the new energy. We're like, yeah, we're over that, going this way. Yeah, and it's going to look almost like a two-world split that Dolores Cannon always talks about, that you know, any new age or any awakened community is talking about the world splitting. I mean, you go on Facebook, you already see the signs. I mean, you don't have to look too far past any comment section and you see people on two very distinct, different points of view, or you know, what's the word? Two sides of a coin. One on one extreme versus another extreme. You're already seeing this, and it's just going to become more prevalent as we move into this new frequency. So what else do we need to know? Let's get one of our Oracle of the Seven Energies cards. What do we need to know? Kind of just where we're at right now energetically, and kind of where we're moving into. Oh, look at that earthing magic. We were talking about the roots. That's almost what this is giving, with kind of the light, just kind of the roots penetrating down like the mycelium of the fungi, right? And then the Earth Star chakra, I touched on that for just a brief moment earlier. But grounding, earthing, we have the number 1. So there's a new beginning here. If you can get your feet on the ground, I was going to wear my sandals to the game last night, and I should have, because it was warm enough. My feet would not have been cold whatsoever. But where I kind of sat, like right where my feet were, was kind of dirt rather than grass. So maybe it was for the best. But just on Sunday at soccer, I took my shoes and socks off, and I felt like almost electrified after that. I felt so good. Just sitting there for an hour watching the game, talking to my friend Heather. My husband was there, my other kid, until he had to go to golf. You know, just feeling good, you know. Because the day before that, I went to the soccer game, or not the soccer game, the soccer field, to walk the kind of path around it. And there were probably 3 times the amount of people there that are normally there, because they had like a big soccer tournament or something. And I had to leave. I walked once around. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I had a panic attack in public for the first time in a long time. I had to get out of there. We're just way too many people. Way too many people. So this is about protecting your energy and connecting back to the source. It's like plugging your battery back into the earth is really what's coming through here. Let's get one more of these, and then we're going to move into the tea leaf oracles. The power of purpose. And this is very like Mayan calendar feeling almost. It's like, if you don't know what your purpose is right now, you don't have to wait that much longer. But if you're already someone who's like, I know I want to do something creative, but I don't know what, you know, like Versha was saying earlier, I know kind of what I want to do, but I'm not quite sure how I want to do it or what that looks like. You won't have to wait much longer, because this cycle is closing out. We have the 18, which adds up to a 9, which is about the closing of the cycle. But the 9 is also really about tuning into what is my purpose. And not just what is my purpose, but like burning flame, like tunnel vision focus on like, this is my purpose and I'm going to go in alignment with my purpose. And then we even have like a little star out here that's really catching my attention. And even though this isn't like a flaming arrow, it almost looks like one. I don't know if you can quite tell. I don't know what's really quite going on in the background. I'm wearing contacts and they correct my distance. So I'm like almost like having to hold this out here. If I wasn't, I could just be like this and see all the detail much easier. But yeah, it almost looks like I'm hearing unraveling. It's almost like the light that once held certain molecules together is kind of morphing or alchemizing itself into something new, something more in alignment with our spirit though. That's a good thing. All right, tea leaf oracles. What do we need to know? Current energies and just what to look out for. Good, bad, happy, sad, anything in between. What's going on? Whoa. Okay, that's quite the chunk. And I also heard take these two as well. So we got a lot going on. It all just flopped off the top. So we don't even need to pull these cards. They're already out. So the two that kind of were in their own vicinity. We have older man, dealings or relationship with an older man. That could be a husband, a father, the patriarchy at large, a boss, whatever that resonates for you specifically. Because again, you can kind of take and individuate this message into your own life. Or if it doesn't fit, just disregard. We have grasshopper situations in the balance that require careful handling. So we were kind of talking earlier about maybe taking unsolicited advice from someone. This could be this person in your life, if that makes sense. Someone's telling you need to do something, but you're like, actually, it doesn't really fit. And it doesn't literally have to be an older man. It could just be someone who's a woman or whatever that's very much in their masculine energy, trying to kind of almost force their agenda onto you. So just be aware of that as a potential. We have increased your efforts if you want to achieve your goals, but this is not you having to grind and hustle and force anything. This feels like that life force energy of the power of purpose coming online for you, that these boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. And one of these days, these boots are going to walk all over you, meaning the path that was paved. I just heard the road to hell was the path to hell was paved with good intentions. So it's almost like you're taking all of your accidents, all of the things from the past that didn't quite work out, and almost they're acting as like the fertilizer that enhanced the earth or the ground beneath your feet for you to have this very fertile soil through which to move forward. And I just heard someone's putting their work boots on. You're getting down to work. You're getting down to business. And then we're going to another part of the body, the hand. Talk to the hand because the face don't understand. I never understood that because I'm like, you just dissed yourself. You say your face doesn't understand or comprehend what they're saying. So I always used to say, talk to the hand because the face ain't listening. In need of help, assistance, and guidance. So this is not really your energy though. This might be someone, again, you may be in need of this. And that's when that person comes in with their unsolicited, again, good intentions, but the road to hell was paved with good intentions, as I say. This person may have your best interest at heart, but they think, oh, I'm going to give them the best advice ever. And you're like, just not for me, just not my advice. But also you may be potentially being able to easily and effortlessly step in and help someone who's really struggling with something, of course, with their permission. It's not like you're just doing this for no reason. And they really benefit from that. And then we have the psychic M on the hand there. So this is about you trusting your intuition. We have the sun, happiness and well-being. So especially in following your purpose, where your happiness levels, your well-being, your health, your wellness, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, etheric, causal, all the things, all the well-being. You're packaging that up and putting a pretty bow on it by taking the time, paying attention, spending the time, putting the effort into something that is going to just advance and enhance your health, your wellness, the solid foundation that you're building as well with that Earth Magic card. And then hard work ahead. But this is not hard work, like roll up your sleeves, start grinding, start, pounding pavement, doing all the things. These two here, remember what I said about work boots? Hard work is ahead. But this is hard work that your spirit is like, about effing time. Yes, it's go time. Let's do this thing because I am so ready. I'm so prepared. I'm so, again, it's not just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. You have very specific purpose. These situations in the balance require careful handling. And this is not you just hemming and hawing logically about what to do next. This is like a knowing, a deep knowing from spirit, almost just directing you before you even have time to think, what am I doing right now? You're going in that direction. And then we have dragon. Beware of self-delusion. And like I said earlier, this is not like, oh, who are you to shine? That's not that kind of energy. This is, again, the delusion of, oh, I'm just this ego. Who am I to shine? All of that. That's what this dragon is telling you to beware of. No, instead, step into spirit. And if other people have a problem with it, that's their problem. Or, your tendency to shrink yourself to continue to go along, to get along with certain people, things going on at work, posts on social media. You're just not shrinking yourself anymore. Even though the tendency to do that is still there, or it's kind of almost like an automatic response for many of us, because that's how we've had to literally survive, is bend our own will to go along, to get along. But you're going to start catching yourself in these moments. That's the self-delusion that this dragon here is talking about. And it's like a white dragon with like gold. It's kind of the coloring I'm getting here. And he looks a little bit sad and a little bit old and a little bit tired. He's a little bit haggard looking himself. He's like, even my fire, and I just heard plasma rather than fire, but like even my fire, even my plasma is like dull, because I'm just like, oh, I've been running in all these different directions trying to please other people. It's my time now. Like, that's the energy that's coming through here. And then we have teardrops, great personal sorrow. So especially with this devil card, once again, there may be certain connections in your life that have to shift, have to change. Again, this is not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. This is about allowing the personal growth, development, light shining, all those things that need to happen on your end, on maybe this other person's end. For someone actually watching, this is about outgrowing a career. But for most of you watching, this is about a close personal relationship that you have done so much in, and you've invested so much in, that you're like, well, I can't just walk away from this person. It's not that you have to walk away. It's just that the way that you relate to them, the way you connect with them has to change. If that doesn't shift, if that doesn't change, you're both in trouble, because it has no choice but to change. And then we have chain of events that will affect your life. If you don't bend to the will of your spirit rather than the will of the matrix, the will of society, the will of culture, the will, but I said wheel, wheel, the wheel. The karmic wheel is changing. This is like the wheel of fortune energy. The times are a shifting. The times are a changing. And what we maybe had to use in survival mode as ways of relating to people at work, in our personal lives, even to our own self, in our own creative projects, our own pets, our own kids, our own whatever, has to change, has to shift on a fundamental spiritual level, because so many of our connections are very surface level, because that's been the underlying energy. And even if we've tried, kind of thrown a line, trying to connect with someone on a deeper level, sometimes it lands, sometimes it doesn't. But we're just going to find that even the stranger in the grocery store that you're having a conversation with, or, laughing about something with, it's going to be much deeper than just, hey, oh, wow, these prices are up this week, or, something very surface level. It's going to be much deeper. So you may even have encounters with strangers that feel deeper than connections or conversations you've had with people who are supposedly your nearest and dearest coming up. All right, let's get a couple charms. Actually, first, let's roll our astro dice. And I guess you'll just have to take my word for what falls. So we have, okay. So that is fourth house. And we have the planet, or whatever, Rahu. Nope, that is Capricorn. I think. No, that's Leo. That's Leo. And then we have Saturn, because I didn't roll my planet for some reason. So that's okay. So I'm counting that as 10th house. So Saturn is the planet in Leo. Saturn in Leo, which funny, my husband actually has Saturn in Leo, but this is fourth house energy. So Saturn is about restriction, or it's about the sense of duty or purpose. So there may be this sense of duty or purpose that you have going on around your home or your kind of personal sanctuary. So that could be your bedroom, your altar, your kitchen. If you own your home or you feel like you have access to your whole home, it could be your whole home. There's something where some of you may literally be starting some sort of creative project, YouTube channel, something from home, work at home project or endeavor. Or this could literally be like home remodel, home repair, even showing up, because what I just saw in my mind's eye were like the two like drama masks, one happy, one sad. It's like, how are you showing up at home in your personal connections with the people and pets and whatever's the energy of the home? How are you showing up at home? Because maybe before was more of a performance rather than who you truly are. So this is about getting to who you are on a spirit level and connecting to your home, your plants, your animals, your computer, your people that live in your home from a more authentic spiritual place than you maybe had to or did in the past. Itchy nose. So there's good luck associated with your connections at home, especially if you've put in a lot of effort or work or are willing to put in a lot of effort or work in the future. Oh, no worries. Yeah, I can totally timestamp for anybody who has to go that's sent their donation. All right. Got a handful here. Quite a little handful. Oh, and even one of my hairs. There it is. We don't need that. Oh, we have a paintbrush. What were we saying about creative endeavors as I drop it? Paintbrush. It's a little wooden paintbrush that was like hooked to a card that I got. I could probably take that little sticky thing off the back, but I just thought that was so cute that I want to put it in my charms box. So there it was. This is, again, going back to the home remodel or repair. Maybe someone's doing some painting of some sort or patching of walls. Could be. I'm seeing walls for some reason. We have cherries. And I just heard, again, Carrie K, how good can this get? And then I heard cherry on top. So you living your life in alignment with spirit, and then the universe will start meeting you to put the cherry on top of whatever it is you're working on or creating, especially your creative endeavors with that Leo energy that came out. Then we have the Eiffel Tower. There could be some sort of travel or I'm hearing cultural shift. Cultural shift. It's like Paris, France. And then I just heard French Revolution. And I heard the word Jacques, like the name. Okay. So we're going to go to Google. We're going to Google, because that's what I do. I'm going to Google French Revolution. And then like Jauques, or however you spell Jacques. I don't have a good French accent. So, okay. So several key figures named Jacques significantly influenced the French Revolution, ranging from radical journalists, and I just heard ding, 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 we have a winner, and priests and moderate politicians and financiers. So Jacques-René Herbert, or I'm sure Herbert, or however you say that in the French way, was a radical journalist. Jacques Roux, or R-O-U-X, however you say that, far left priest. Jacques Pierre, someone. Let's see the Jacques-René Herbert, however you say that, radical journalist and founder of Les Perrets Deschênes. Gosh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he led the Herbertists or Herbertists. Maybe the T is silent, I don't know, and pushed for extreme measures during the Reign of Terror. And then I just heard again, ding, 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 we have a winner, Reign of Terror. He was guillotined in March of 1794. Let me look up Reign of Terror. I just heard it is over. Whatever this was is over, energetically speaking. Obviously, the thing that popped off as the actual Reign of Terror is probably well over, but the reverberative energy from that is now over. So from September of 1793 to July of 1794 was the most radical and violent phase of the French Revolution, characterized by state-sanctioned mass executions of enemies of the revolution, which that would be considered us, enemies of the Matrix or whatever. Not that we're enemies, but like we're just spiritual beings wanting to be spiritual beings and not be funneled into like this role of cattle or chattel in some way. So it was managed by the Committee of Public Safety, a 12-man. This is over. This is over. And it's literally raining out there right now. As in, rain come down. And then I just heard Purple Rain. So Prince, that song Purple Rain. It was managed by that Committee of Public Safety, 12-man body that exercised nearly dictatorial how come I can't say that? Dictatorial control over France. Some may say that that's going on in our country with Orange Man, whatever his name is. I forgot to say for a second, Trump. Some may say that's what's going on here. I try not to get into it. I don't even know what's going on. But we also have the Tree of Life. But this reign of terror is over. Oh, and then Leo energy. I think Trump is like a Leo sun, Leo ascendant, potentially. Leo moon. I don't remember. Leo sun for sure. But he might also be a Leo ascendant. But what I'm hearing is it's all theater. Remember the drama masks. It's all theater. We have the Tree of Life, those chopped down. But I also almost reading this again, kind of going with that Earth Magic card as those roots. Those roots just going down, down, down into the earth. Then we have angels watching over time, over me. Again, my contacts are making it difficult. Angels watching over me. Yeah. So again, you know how we feel about archangels and all that around here, but this may just be your own true spirit. This could be guardians, you know, dragon energy, the sylphs, the fae, whatever. Lots of spiritual protection and love. And we also have a butterfly, which is about metamorphosis and just stepping into that next authentic version of yourself. So there's a level up here, a very creative level up. The reign of terror is over. So I would venture to say, even if you were waiting, like I am, for that cross of planning to completely unplug in February of next year, whatever huge grip that the matrix and that background frequency of cross of planning had on you is over. Even though, again, the reverberative effects are kind of still going through July, or not just July, but next February, and then maybe even a little bit beyond. But you're free. I just heard you're free to go. It's like, isn't that like at the end of a court session? And you're like, not guilty, you're free to go. Like, that's what I just heard. Not that we were on trial, but we've been in a lot of trials and tribulations. Let's put it that way. So you're free to go. Yeah, Leo ruler sign. Yeah, rain, horse rain, control, mechanism. And we're in the year of the fire horse. So it's like the fire horse is burning away the rains who have controlled it and broken that horse and made that horse work. And that's something with the 1949 channel in human design. The way that we treat, potentially eat, have animals in our lives, the way we relate to animals is changing big time as well. So that makes sense with, oh, you broke that horse, now it's your workhorse. No, the fire horse is burning away all of that and becoming its own sovereign being again. And we are those horses that I'm talking about. But maybe literally too. Literally horses, potentially. Who knows? Yeah. And then I just heard the song. It's originally by the Beatles, I think. Wild Horses. But I like the female version of that song by the Sundays. It's on the movie Fear. I love that song. I love her version of it. No, it wasn't the Beatles. It was the Rolling Stones. Sorry. I just saw, God, what's his name? The lead singer. I can't even think of his name right now. God, it's right there. I just can't get it. I just saw his face, so that reminded me. No. That's the Rolling Stones, not the Beatles. What am I doing? But yeah, horses are evolved beings and chose to incarnate on Earth, but they were just domesticated and used in derbies and whatnot. Yeah, as plow horses, work horses. Yeah, all the things. Reminds me of that movie from the 90s, early 90s, maybe late 80s, early 90s, I think. Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. It's a Disney movie. It's really hard to find on streaming. But it was like a lady named Sonora Webster, and she did like horse diving at the fair, which was really dangerous. They ran this horse up this huge platform up in the sky, and then the horse would have to jump with the woman on the back of the horse into this big pool of water, like many feet below. How terrifying. It's a really good movie though. Really good movie. I don't want to spoil it, what happens to Sonora Webster, but yeah. Poor horses. Like, how terrifying. Yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing until like we rented that movie from the Shoestring Video back in Libby back in the 90s. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. But then I'm like, but those poor horses. Why would you do that? Like, who came up with the idea? Like, let's run this horse up way up in the sky in this huge platform and then make it jump into this big pool of water while a woman's on its back. Like, why? And why did it have to be a woman? Why couldn't it have been a dude? I don't know. It was a really good movie, though. Although, probably very not good for the animals. Definitely don't do that these days, for sure. We've evolved, at least, to know that's probably not okay. Terrifying. I'm surprised some of these horses didn't have heart attacks. Maybe they did. It's so scary. But how do you even train a horse for that? Like, how? All I know is the guy that played Sonora Webster's, I think, eventual husband, but love interest in it was the same guy, Jake Ryan from 16 Candles. If you know, you know. Yeah, I haven't seen him in anything any time recently. I don't know if he's still even an actor. I don't even know his name. I just know he played Jake Ryan. All right, anywho, let's get into our list. Finally, Amanda, she made it. 2 hours and 11 minutes after the live stream started. We're finally getting going. Okay, let's do this. I need to go to PayPal and see what we have going on. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 donations. So I have Get to Like a Ray for a full read, Jessa for 1 card. We have Barbara and we full read, and then Amanda F full read. Yeah, so if I did not just say your name and you're here and you know you donated, let me know and we will amend that right quick, because sometimes it doesn't let me know that something came through, even if it did. So let's start our donation list. And this is the crazy thing. This won't even take that long. There's only 4 of them, especially when I stick to my timer. It's just me blah, 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 to get us to this point that takes forever. So apologies for those of you that had to go, like Get to Luck. I know she probably had to get to bed because she lives in the other side of the world from where we're at. So, oh, eyes itching. Okay, let's get our donation list going. I won't put Get to Like on there because I'm just going to get right into her reading, but Jessa. And then we have Barbara. And I know YouTube changed things, so like your username may not match what it used to. But at least this way I know who's who. Amanda F. Okay. Just as 1 card. Everyone else is a full read today. So, oh, you, oh, me too. I thought you meant you had donated. Gotcha. No, I added the chit chat. It's fine. That's what we're here for. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I love it. So we're good. Okay, so I will actually go to my email and deep dive on what these questions are for you guys today. And okay, so reading from Akashic Record, which past life is affecting my current situation, messages, and advice for next life events. Okay, let's go with, we'll just use the Delos Tarot yet again. Fun times. So let's ask, set our timer. I always set it for a little more so I can reread the question so we're not just strapped for time. But reading from the Akashic Record, which past life is most affecting Getaleka's current situation, messages and advice for this next life events. Okay. All right. So there are 2 specific lifetimes. And one of them, I actually do see you as someone who didn't have the gift of sight. And that's funny, not funny, but interesting, because sight or lack thereof plays a role in the movie we were just talking about, Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, with Sonora Webster. If you missed that, you can scroll back just a little bit. That might be relevant, something about horses. But let's see. Let's get a card on each of these 2 lives that are affecting what you have going on. Okay, so we have a recycle, this reincarnation, recycle truck out here, picking up recycling. So this is interesting. This is an off-world. One of them is on Earth, and then another one is off-world. So there are 2 lives that are affecting. And I just heard Rigel. I was looking at this and I looked at the moon. I saw Rigel, which is in the Taurus constellation. It's the foot of Orion the Hunter. So this might have been in the Orion constellation. I'm getting clear confirmation. Oh, thank you for the timestamp. I appreciate that. I need to write that down. Orion constellation. And this was a planetary war. You're on the side of, hey, why are you attacking us? The Draconians and, Archons and all that have been doing what they do here on other places as well. 2 hours, 14:03. Pen is not wanting to write. Anyone else do that? 14:03. Okay. Anyway, so there was a defense, like you're on the defense. And then the lifetime on Earth I'm seeing as the blind. You weren't able to see in that life. I do see as like up to about age 3, you could see. So like you could still picture things in your mind when people would talk about things. But at like the 3-year-old capacity. But you were a seer, whether you were blind in like actual eyes, you had your third eye very much working and in operation. And you were like a seer for the community. And I actually interestingly see this as a lifetime in Pakistan. And this is in 1642. That's the year that just popped right in. So 1642 in Pakistan. And you were male in that life. And you were seen as like the town, the community, like seer. Like you would be the one people would go to be able to help people navigate their path forward, or if you saw like a famine or a storm, or like you could foresee things happening that really in multiple different occasions helped steer your community clear of like major catastrophic things, and even some war or like attack, not like a full out war, but like there was an attack for like boundary lines with another community or tribe that I'm seeing again back in 1642. I have no clue what was actually going on in Pakistan in that year, or even in this year. Like that's not a country I ever have tuned into, I don't think, in any kind of reading ever. So maybe looking into the history and seeing what was going on at that time. But in the one off world, it was about preventing or trying to be on the defense of war. And then in the Pakistan Earth lifetime in 1642, this specific year was very pivotal for your community, whatever was going on. Oh, it was part of India back then. Okay, see, I didn't know. I figured it was somewhere near, but again, geography is not my strong suit. Even like US geography, I don't know what to tell you. But yes, so how this is affecting you in this life, let's get to that point. What this is showing you that you don't even need to see something like with your own actual eyes to have a feeling or have a deep intuition or knowing that something is off or something is a good opportunity or what the case may be. So this is like past life gifts of just knowing what's correct for you in any moment. And maybe if something's correct for you now, maybe 3 years from now, you're like, I kind of learned a lesson from that, or I've grown from, whatever it was I was getting out of that relationship or that job or that whatever. And this literally is going to be 3 years from now. There's something you're outgrowing. There's some sort of soul or spiritual contract that you had to learn everything you could about something. And I'm hearing to keep it vague on purpose because you're not meant to know yet. I hate when spirit does that because I'm like, ooh, but let's help her out. Let's let her know. I do have a clue that it has something to do with career, but it's not your career at large. But there's something that you do in your career that is going to be shifting over the next 3 years, that you've been there, done that, flipped it upside down, inside out, and backwards. You know everything there is to know about this, to where you can move in a new direction now. You don't need to keep on that hamster wheel of whatever that talent or skill is. So how else is this helping Getaleka in this lifetime, or lessons, advice, wisdom, guidance that needs to come through from these past lives? Okay. So specifically in knowing when to walk away from something, but also usually after something really heartbreaking or sad or really difficult happens in your life, that's almost when these new divinely inspired opportunities will come in, because you're sorry if that's too loud, because that's when you're closing out the cycle of that contract. And just you energetically closing out a cycle, or realizing, well, this isn't for me anymore, and you walk in a new direction. That's the only time spirit can usually, just in general, give us that next opportunity, or our own spirit bring that opportunity up, because there's now room in our life for it, where maybe that other, relationship or job or whatever the case may be was taking up residence, where that energy needs to now flow in with this new endeavor or opportunity. And this potentially could be related to a love relationship, because love in the past, in the life of the man who was blind, it does feel like you had a very supportive spouse in that life, that you guys were like soulmate energy, and she was always there, and she was almost like your eyes, because she would take care of like the physical stuff for you, and but there was like so much that you gave her as well, that it was just this beautiful harmonious connection and energy. Yeah, and then it's funny, because I was really looking at the moon on that card, and then we have the literal moon card coming out with a slice of this. So specifically kind of that, they call it a waxing crescent moon. So especially when the moon is at the waxing crescent phase, meaning it's just after it was a new moon, and now it's building back toward a full moon again, or a first quarter moon, or a half moon, or a whatever. But that waxing crescent right after the new moon, and it's the moon's starting to get more light and grow again, is the time frame that you are your most psychic. So that could be that you were born on a waxing crescent moon phase. And if you want to know, you can even just go to Google and find out, put in your birth date and say, what was the moon phase on this day? And even if that's not the moon phase you were born on, Getaleka, you can go in and just see where that is transiting in your chart, if you want to look into that. If not, it's just kind of a little bonus. But you're on the verge of a breakthrough in something that you came here to do on a spiritual level. So there's like a purpose, a personal spiritual purpose that you're about to fulfill in these next 3 years, that you're very close to a breakthrough with, kind of discovering or knowing your life purpose in some regard, or just a fraction, or a fractal of the life purpose. Because I don't think we just have one life purpose. We have lots of little life purposes that kind of form this really beautiful, multifaceted jewel of just pure purpose in general. All right. So I went a little over on that one, but we had 2 past lives come up. What can I do? What do you want from me? No, I'm just kidding. It's getting hot in here. All right. Fix my shirt. Got these weird sleeves going on. Okay. So up next, and we did have a couple more donations come through. So let me go ahead and add Michelle De Leon. Welcome, Michelle. Good to see you. And Brianna for a 1-card pull. Okay. Close enough. I think yes. Okay. So Jessa, you are next. Let me make sure. Okay. Yeah. What's the money? Where's the money, Spirit? Yes. Where's the money? I mean, we're not asking anything crazy here. Just like, where is it? She's willing to work. She's ready. Like, what's going on? I just saw the Nine of Swords kind of pop out, but it wanted to go back in. So anxiety, sleepless nights, stress, like, how am I going to pay them bills? Like, let's get going. Like, Isher, get off the pot. Spirit, like, we need something to come through. We really do. Let me go to my timer just so we can stay on task. Stay on track. Oh, ooh. Well, much like Get to Leka, we have the Nine of Wands. Something's about to break through. We've been getting this message for over a year now for you, Jessa. So, like, where is it? Oh, another timeline shift. So there's another significant timeline shift that's coming up. Let's see. Let's see if we can get timing. We do have our Chris timing deck here that Jessa got me for my birthday a couple years back that I just love. But it's always cheeky when we ask timing for Jessa with this deck. But let's just see. Can we please get the real tea on the timing here? Stop. I'm so... It's a secret. If you knew the answer, it would change the outcome. Trust in divine timing. So I guess that's where we're at again. Since you won't tell us when, can we know some circumstances or some symbols, synchronicities, or signs that Jessa will get when it's about time? Okay, so we have really good family dynamic going on, emotional fulfillment. This job does feel pretty in alignment, but it's going to come after. This feels like your current energy as far as like, hey, still waiting. I'm seeing the higher perspective here, but like, can something come through? And then I'm just seeing this as you jump through all these hoops, you get through all these hurdles, you get to the third interview, the fourth interview, the whatever. And then they're like, hey, actually, just kidding. We went with someone else. It's like, why? Why is this happening? But let's just see. And you've been through that. I don't know how many times at this point. So like, why? What? How? Who? What? Where? When? Why? We have okay with the number 65, which adds up to an 11. We have stability, harmony, and acceptance. It's like, yeah, that's what she's looking for as far as stability. This is the third reading in a row where we're referring to something blind. I just heard time blind, time blindness. And timing has been off. But this is not just a you thing, Jessa, or a Get to Leka thing or whatever. This is a collective thing. Because if we could see, however far ahead, it's almost like we would be too scared or too excited or too ... insert here to just keep going on the trajectory we're on. So if you knew what exactly was going to pop off, you might get too excited or too scared or too like, well, what if I crash and burn? What if I can't do it? It's like, no, you kind of have to go into this blind because that's just the way it has to be. Trusting in divine timing. Because if you knew the answer, it would change the outcome. Not for the better, though. So it's coming. Like, that's very clear. It's coming. But the timing of it is still a secret. Look. And it's sooner than later. And I know soon, relative in terms of we're talking spiritual stuff. Soon could be 600 years from now in like spiritual terms. But like, it's soon as far as human terms. Is there any other symbol, synchronicity, anything that she'll be aware of around the time this will finally happen for her and the money will start flowing? Fury, offense, madness, and unpleasantness. You just are like, okay, like, throw me a freaking bone, universe. What's going on? Like, you're just over it. I think you're kind of already there. And then we have Vow on the back of the deck with a bunch of kids like playing. So wish, hope, and worship. So not so much the worship stuff, but just having hope. Hope can kind of almost sometimes feel hopeless because we're waiting. Money. It's like we're waiting on something that we have almost no control over when we're hoping. But when we tune into spirit and we're like, but wait a second. So let's just see if there's any other avenue or alternative that this money could be coming through that's not just career and just all of that. Okay. An older woman. Dealings or relationship. I'm really getting vibes from your mom. Not like she's handing you money, but something through which Spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. This does not mean that you have to grow old to then step into this. That's not where I'm going with this, but there's something you're spiritually learning through just observing your mom that will somehow bring money forward. And again, there may be some candle magic or cord cutting, burning away of destiny swap type energy that you're doing. Spear, heartache over what you no longer have. And just again, just realizing the death of the mother you always wished you had, because she's not the mother you do have. So there's maybe some mother wound healing going on that will help with the money flow situation. And then mountain on the back of the deck, major challenge to overcome, but you're like cresting the peak of the mountain because you had this Olympic athlete. You're almost there. The light's almost at the end of the tunnel. Something to do with your mom burning away, just saying no more. And even just the fact that we're coming closer to where all these ancestral contracts and wounds and bargains and just ways that we've been generationally after generation after generation operating, those contracts, those pacts, those curses, those, I just heard bindings, are falling away naturally just as we get closer into 2027. So it's not even something you have to go above and beyond to do. It's just literally happening. But if you want to speed it along or feel like you're doing something productive, you can always do any kind of cleansing, clearing, ritual, candle magic, whatever that resonates with you to get this ball rolling. Yeah. So there is money coming through, and specifically something to do around the energy of your mom. Not saying she's the one handing you money, but she could be handing you maybe an opportunity with the housing situation that somehow, again, is like another domino falling to keep getting you where it is your spirit's leading you, if that makes sense. And we can get into it more when we meet next. Of course. All right. So up next, we have Barbara full read, and I'm gonna just timestamp for everybody that I still have because I don't know who's still here, and I want to just make sure. But hey, if you're here and it's your reading, and you say, "Hey, I'm here," you don't have to though. Donation list, and then I'm gonna add the ones that we got just a bit ago. Oh no, I already added them, so never mind. They're already added. Boom, there it is. All right. So Barbara, let's go over to your question on email. And I'm going to timestamp right now so I don't forget. So we're at 2:32:10. And I will hopefully remember to put these timestamps so you guys don't have to watch this big long thing just to find your reading, because that's not fair to you. All right. Right now, I'm at a crossroads regarding job opportunities, locations, life stage, etc. I'd love some advice and just energetic reading for me, please. And thank you. Perfect. Let's get into it for Barbara. She's at the crossroads. I saw something, the Four of Wands on the back of the deck. So there may be something about housing or a home situation that definitely is shifting. You may not be quite ready to pull the trigger or move in a direction yet, but you're kind of gathering data, information, making plans. But there's progression here from the ace to the two. I know it's not the ace literally, but it's a page holding the ace is what I'm trying to say, into the Two of Wands. So there's forward momentum here. So getting an idea, Barbara, or if you kind of already have an idea of maybe what you want, but maybe not quite yet how it's going to work out, that's okay. Just knowing kind of, or having that awareness of like, even not what you want, but like what you don't want, just knowing that can sometimes shed light on, well, what is it I do want? That you're going to get this inspiration or this idea, especially at the crossroads. This is crossroads energy, really embodied right here. So this crossroads regarding this job opportunity, location, you're going to start getting, and I heard between now and May 6th, which is not that long of a time frame. That's what, 2 weeks or so ish, something along those lines, less than 2 weeks. Oh, I'm hearing sirens. So it's like urgent. It's immediate. Not like there's an emergency, but like it's almost in your awareness right now. Your next step regarding And it's going to come in through just a little seed of a thought. Or you may hear someone say something and you're like, I could do that. Like you're getting really good like downloads or connection. So be very aware, Barbara, in the coming days, weeks, months. What is going on around you, what your thoughts are, and especially if you're thinking something and then your ear starts ringing, pay very close attention to what you were hearing, seeing, tasting, touching, smelling, or thinking when your ear started ringing. Or if you get like spiritual chills automatically, like just doing something, remember what you were doing in that moment, because that's going to be very clear spiritual information for you on what's next. So let's just see if we can tune into the energy. Even if you're not quite ready to take these leaps of faith on this crossroads, like what's next for Barbara? Like, let's find out what is next. What can she look forward to, especially in these? I got this wave of excitement just come in between now and July. So between now and May, you're kind of solidifying some ideas. Then you're going to start taking some action in those directions. And then by July, you're going to be feeling really fulfilled in something. This is emotional contentment. This is deep intuition, just being able to trust yourself, specifically with anything that you've been confused about as far as your career or your home situation, or just like, what do I even want? You're going to have some really major clarity around not just what you don't want anymore, but now what do I want? And then being able to start not only making plans, but taking action in that direction. Between now and July, you're going to see a lot of shifts going on. So specifically with career, there's something that's aligning, that you're going to feel more connected to the people you work with, or if you're working on your own, it's maybe the people you're interacting with through your work, like clients, customers, what have you. There may even be some sort of business or idea that you have that maybe isn't going to like fully come to fruition by July, but there's something you're doing in July to like really take some major steps in a direction for your career that feels really authentic and really in alignment for you personally, that will eventually potentially allow you to leave a current job, or just even having to work for other people, where you're going to be your own boss between now and about 3.5 years from now is what I see. You're kind of that overlapping energy I always talk about, where maybe you're still working somewhere or doing something, but on the side, you're like building up your own business or your own service that you want to provide for humanity, or, you know, a specific niche of people. That you kind of have maybe the seeds for this. If you don't already have the seeds for this idea, they're coming very soon. Like, I would be shocked if you don't know what this thing is right now. But if you don't, Barbara, just know it's on the horizon. If you're like, I have no idea what she's talking about, it's on the horizon. Let's just see if we can get some specific information about kind of just your location, because that feels very important. It's like once you solidify a location, then everything else can kind of ripple out from there. So it's like location is going to be the most important to kind of get stable, so that you can kind of build other things from there. And that's not to say that you have to have, you know, be in a specific location for you to be able to build a business or whatever, because a lot of times we can do business from about anywhere these days. But it's about you being in a location that really feels good to you. Because I feel like currently you're not quite right in, you know, if one thing's going good, there's 2-3 other things about the location you're currently in that you're kind of like, whatever. We have hills, obstacles to overcome. And there may even be the location that you will end up in is somewhere in the hills, or may even have hills in the name, or like the section of your town may have something with the word hills in it, or the street name, or something like this. Or it could, if it's not in the name, it could literally be that outside your window where you're going to end up, you see rolling hills, or even potentially mountains, but more hills than mountains. Anything else specific to the location for Barbara? And we have Caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming. So you're going to be able to move closer to these hills. I just heard the hills have eyes, but like not in a creepy way. I think that's a movie. But this is about you being very aware of your surroundings. Excuse me. I wanted to get that. Oh, Boston needs me to pick him up soon if possible. I'm not quite ready for that. Let me text him and let him know I can't quite pick him up yet. So in about a half hour, probably. Still live. One hand type. Here we go. Okay. Anyway, look at all the green though. So this is maybe closer to nature, or you're feeling more in connection or communion with nature, Barbara, wherever it is you're headed. Oh, it's horrible out here and we want to hit Roger's house. Well, then why can't he just go to Roger's house? Can you get a ride? I don't know. Anyway, so my husband's now on the group text, so he can handle it. Yes, we can meet tomorrow, Jess. I should be around. So anyway, Barbara, location is shifting to something much better, which will allow you to plant some stable seeds for something that will grow and develop over time. What that exactly looks like is like time blind, question mark. Intuitively, it feels like you already know, or you very soon will know what this looks like. So hopefully that helped at least narrow some things down, that you won't have to continue to be doing things that don't really sit well with you anymore, or don't really harmonize with who you are and what you want to be doing. And even if you're still kind of unsure, well, I don't know what I would want to be doing, that's going to become crystal clear as you move toward July. But even sooner, like around May 6th is kind of the date coming in. You're going to have like an idea that you can start taking and running, making plans on, taking action on. All right. So up next, such a great reading, amazingly accurate, and exactly what I needed to hear. It always comes back to listening to that inner voice, doesn't it? Always. It always does. Your readings are always so uplifting. Well, I'm so glad that resonated for you, Barbara. I'm wishing you nothing but the best, because I just got the chills of excitement yet again. Whatever this is that you're moving in is going to be a far cry from the energy and I just heard cesspool. Not that your life is a cesspool, but you almost just feel like, I'm so stagnant. I just want change. I want excitement and creativity and fun and good connections. That, maybe life's not completely bad, but like you're just ready for like some just effervescence or vivaciousness to come into your life. And that's definitely on the way, because you're literally acting as the creator of that. So keep doing what you're doing, because it's leading you where you need to be. I love that, Barbara. That's so cool. Oh yeah. Yeah, everything does cost money, right? Ugh, so hard. Yeah. All right. Amanda F. Let's timestamp for her as well. We're at 2:41:53. And then on deck we have, on deck we have Michelle and then Brianna. So we're cooking right through. Amanda F. So let's get Amanda's question up, and then we'll start the timer after that. Okay. Let me go to email, PayPal. All right. So, hi, Amanda. Question: what is needed to be known for the highest good for my mom and her protection and support her when I am not around? Thank you very much, Amanda. All right. Let's find out. Get our timer going here. So what does Amanda need to know about protecting her mom, especially when she's not around, or just this protective energy? Woo, needed to be known for the highest good. Wow. So I just already see, Amanda, that your mom is very spiritually protected. Even if physically she feels like, I'm unsafe, this may have to do with a relationship, a close, maybe in-house or very close to her relationship that she's not feeling very stable in. Masculine energy coming through. So there could be something with her home life, or just the security, stability of home life that feels very up and then down and then up and then mostly down, but like it's kind of all over the place, to where even financially there's maybe some question marks about like how to best make this work for your mom. But as far as the highest good for her protection and support when you're not around, especially, yeah, there's that masculine energy, very domineering, very controlling, or just like very just loud with this person's voice that is really like getting your mom's nervous system going. But let's just see specifically about the protection. Okay, so karmically, this person will not always be around her. She's kind of on, I just heard the death caught, which is funny because that's like Purva Bhadrapada and Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which is in Pisces, which is the last zodiac sign. So like she's in the home stretch of whatever this situation is. And if this is not a male, this is someone very much in their dominant masculine energy. But I would almost say 98% this is a guy in her life that is, she's better off without, we'll just put it that way. But maybe there's something financially that's kind of keeping her from being able to be more free or sovereign in this connection. But karmically, that's ending. But I still see her being okay financially if she's maybe connected to someone that's financially kind of, I don't know if financially abusing or just like financially like she's dependent or something like that. But look, she's going to be able to walk away, or this person's walking away. She has a new beginning here. And there may even be a way for you to be around her more, or her being closer to you somehow, like logistically, location wise, to where you won't even need to be worrying about her, or the fact that maybe this person's leaving her life in some way to where she can just be good without this person around. And maybe even if like you're at a distance or you can't always be there for her in the way she needs, that you just know intuitively she's good. Yeah, I really see that this has to do with a relationship for her, or just the way she connects with somebody that will be ending. And I'm definitely seeing your energy here, Amanda, but also, I don't know if you have a sibling or someone else that she kind of relies on that's younger than her, that you can also kind of outsource you having to be kind of the sole person in charge of protecting and making sure mom's okay. There may be someone else you can kind of lean on or rely on, or that's kind of helpful in this regard for you, that you don't feel, not that you take this as a job, but almost that you just feel almost spiritually like she's your child in some way, because you have just such this beautiful spirit, Amanda, that you just want to make sure everyone's cared for and protected and loved and has what they need, and not only what they need but what they want, and life is good. Like that's what you want for everybody that you love, and even people you don't love. Like you just want everyone to can't we all just get along and have what we need? Like that's the energy you bring to the table, spiritually speaking, into this world. So of course you want your mom to be okay, of course. But this isn't something you have to do alone. And again, reminder, your mom has so much spiritual protection that it's not even funny. But let's just see anything Amanda needs to know about her mom's highest good. Just anything else that needs to come through, advice, wisdom, guidance, anything else she needs to be aware of. We have elephant. I just heard elephant in the room, but like we've already covered the elephant in the room. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. So this might have been a journey for you, and your mom's just safety, protection, just knowing your mom's good has kind of been a job for you. Not like, oh, I take it as this grueling job, but like you feel it's your responsibility that mom's okay, that things are good for her. And this almost feels like a personal reading for me, because I'm the same way to my mom. Like I want to make sure she's got a literal roof over her head, and she's just doing good. So in a perfect world, I'm doing well enough. I could literally make my mom, like not make her, but like, okay, you're retired now. You just live your best life and I will take care of all your bills. I'll buy you a house. Like that is my ultimate dream. And I get a very similar vibe for you, Amanda, with your mom. Like, and I do see that this dream could be a reality in some way, especially if you're worried about her in like a location she's in, or in a connection she's in that's just, it's not good for her. Maybe she knows it's not good for her, but she's still there because reasons, mostly probably financial, or just, well, it is what it is. I don't know how to make this go any better. Oh, wow. Gong and bell. And you think all the bells that they dismantled and the gongs and stuff, there's like healing vibrational energy that both of these things create. There's an exciting event and an announcement. So this to me is saying mom's going to be just fine. Money will start flowing, even if you're like, but from where? Money is going to start flowing. She's going to be very well taken care of. And it's not like she has to go out and get 4 more jobs and do all these things. It's not like that at all. It's very much, it's like the universe will provide. And I think it just really does have something to do with just the shift in the energy on this planet being more in alignment with people's authenticity. I just want to get one from this deck we haven't used yet. Dream Angel Dreams, Oracle cards is a fun one. Let's just see for Amanda's mom. Guidance, wisdom. Yeah. The autumn. This is reaping the abundance, the harvest. And then we have daydream on the back. You know, dream big is what I heard. Imagination, allow your mind to wander, and quiet time. This is like your mom's energy and the vibe that she would most benefit from, especially if she's in like a high-strung, nervous system shock kind of connection or environment with somebody. But this is about that abundance, preparing, you know, maybe by daydreaming, you're preparing the universe to really dish up something really beautiful, and then being able to harvest the beautiful abundance, reaping what she's sown. Because I see your mom being a very hardworking, very loving, very caring, very giving person. But then when it comes to her, it's like she'll take scraps so that everyone else does well. And it's like, no, you deserve well as well. And of course, you, Amanda, are trying to make something happen for her, that she's safe, she's loved, she's cared for. She's not having to, you know, blood, sweat, and tear her way through her future. I just see things easing up greatly for her. And also for you, that you're not having to take on, not that you see it as a burden, but like energetically, it's work, you know, it honestly, as much as we love doing, you know, what we can for our loved ones, it's still manual and spiritual and emotional and energetic labor that we're performing for people that, of course, that we love. But it still can be draining at times. But you don't have to do all of this on your own. There's going to be some, if there's not help already, this will be coming in. And this is still through somebody that, oh yeah, we can totally move yours till next time. I'll just make a note here that we'll do that. And I'm thinking most likely I will be live again on Friday. And it may just be a donation only live stream, or just a quick little, hey, what's up? Couple card pull, and then hit any donations that we have. Just because I miss you guys. I'm like, do I really have anything going on Friday? Probably not. So let's just go live on Friday too. So probably donation only live stream, but yeah, we'll be here. So we'll do that for you, Michelle. Closing out, one more. I want one more card for Amanda's mom, and just Amanda, this is for you specifically. Just knowing that she's good. Pouring into your own cup. We have the libation card with donation, pray, religion, but this is about you pouring into your own cup and being taken care of, then allows your mother to be taken care of. So this is like, I just heard self-fulfilling prophecy. What you want for your mom will come in. What your mom wants for you, what your mom wants for herself will come in. It's just kind of in this divine time. And that energy of that man, guy, masculine energy, whoever this is in her life, needs to go. It really does need to go. And it will go, because she can't trust this guy. I mean, maybe physically, sure, but like energetically, this guy takes so much from her that it's not even worth any kind of financial. And if this is more not literal, Amanda, you'll have to let me know. But I'm seeing a very clear picture that this is, and if this is not literal, this clear picture I'm seeing, you'll have to let me know. And maybe it's more energetic, but yeah, the writing's on the wall for whoever this person or energy is in her life that is draining her. It could be her own masculine energy, but I really am just seeing this as a actual physical person that lives with her, or somehow controls her life in some way, or financially is putting her up somehow. And this person just being completely unnecessary moving forward. Like she's cutting him out of her life, or he's cutting her out of his life. It's like somehow going separate ways. And it's going to serve all involved. So it's a good thing. You'll have to let me know, Amanda. You can comment on this because it'll probably be up. You don't have to, but I'm like, what is it? Am I like just completely seeing this as a physical thing that's not happening, or is this more energetic? Like, I don't know. It feels very physically actually happening this way, though. All right. So Michelle, we will take care of yours next time. So that leaves us to Brianna, last but not least. And Ryan is getting Boston from his golf thing to hook him up to his friends or whatever. But yeah, so I'm going to go have some lunch after this. But let's get Brianna. Try. Yay! I know, right? Gotta love it. Divine Feminine Day, Venus Day. All right, so for Brianna, oh, I'm going to write my note for Michelle's. Michelle. And I have a reading for someone I need to do right after this as well, as a private reading. So Michelle De Leon on That'll be the 24th. Why did I write 224? That's a 424. Donation only. Live. Not that I'll forget before then, but you never know. Okay. I wrote my note. So let's get into Brianna's question. All right. So 22, it means something here. I think it represents my alignment. We'll see. Please channel a divine message from Spirit, please. I love that. Well, let's go to the animal apothecary. We have not used this one today, and it was just calling my name right as I was reading that number 22. So let's see what we have in store for Brianna. Specifically around this number 22, it means something here. Represents her alignment. We'll see. Please channel a message. Okay. So we have here just trust. And funny, we have the 32, which is like a new beginning or a new cycle past the 22. Or if we even turn the inverse of 32 around, we have 23, which is the next number above that 22. And then we have you are about to shine. So absolutely, this is about your alignment. Then we have a 26. So all these 20 numbers and 30 numbers here, but you are about to shine. Just trust that those seeds you have planted that have sprouted are going to continue to grow and grow and grow, and not just grow, but they're not going to become these leggy little seedlings that then flop over because they were searching for the light. They were searching for the light. No, you are the effing light. So you're watering it, you're nourishing it, you're giving it the fertilizer it needs, you're giving it the sunlight, the source light that it needs to grow. Your alignment it's popping off. If you have not seen this yet, you will very clearly soon see this in so many ways. Whoa, too many. Let's keep going. Anything else Brianna needs to know? Oh, I forgot to set a timer, but well. Almost there. Oh, and then we have the double number of the 22. And look at that almost sun. It almost looks like a cross between like the solar activity. You'll see like the sun with the sunspots popping off. And then you'll see like almost like the Schumann resonance graph because of that. It's almost like a combination of those two kind of elements for me. You're almost there. You've doubled that 22. So you might even start to see 44. Oh, and today is the 22nd. Right? April 22nd. So, wow. And we have the fox here, which is a very cunning, clever, but I don't see that you have to be cunning and clever to do what you need to do. This is just you outsmarting the matrix. So you're still maybe having to kind of almost like Neo with those bullets and stuff. You're kind of like bending and whatever you need to do. I'm going to have to get a timestamp for this. It's probably around 2 hours and 53-ish minutes, maybe. Probably after that, but I want to make sure I at least have myself in the ballpark so I get her a proper timestamp. So absolutely, you're doubling up on that alignment. So you think you're in alignment, and then you're going to quantum leap past that alignment even further into your spiritual alignment. Let's get some quick little tea leaves. Just anything else Brianna needs to know. Divine message. Guaranteed success. Star. Like, do we even need to keep going on this reading? Because like it's very clear what's happening here. You're so in alignment. You've gone supernova. I mean, wow. And then we have pin with new job and career, or just new ways of operating within what you're already building, because we kind of have the four corners here, creating a very stable foundation. And that's a pretty fancy looking pin. And I think it was somebody on the last live stream that had said they felt like they had gone through the eye of the needle. I don't think it was you, Brianna, but what I'm seeing is you very expertly navigating. I'm seeing like one of those old fashioned airplanes with like they're open to the outside, and they like, spin and move upside down and in circles. And I see you like, here's the eye of the needle, and you're coming in like this, but instead you turn just exactly as you need to go right through it without having like a false start. Like, oh, let me thread that needle. Oh, no, you're just right through. Closing statement. Where are we going? Oracle of Seven Energies it is. Here we go. All right. Woo. Hello. Shining through the star. Almost there. I mean, we already talked about it's your time to shine. We have the word shine twice. Shine and shining. Not the shining, but shine, shining. And then we literally have the star, which shines. You've gone supernova in the best possible way. And it's only going to keep increasing. Because look, there's a portal that's been created here through the center of this flower. And I don't even know what kind of flower this is, but I kind of just feel compelled to read from the book on this shining through. Number 30. Oh, we're in the energy 5. Yeah, because these are 7 energies here. This is sound, communication, creativity, listening, being heard, writing, ideas, sharing, and vibration. So wherever it is you're shining probably has to do with that air energy or air element. That's what I'm trying to say. Communication, creativity, listening, being heard, writing, ideas, sharing, and vibration. So we're at number 30, shining through. Self-expression without filters or masks. Authentic communication. I mean, Cross the Sleeping Phoenix, anyone? That is your incarnation cross, Brianna. Yes, being proud of who you are, shining in the world, refusing to make yourself small to belong. You are being called to step into your true power and essence. This is one of those times when you're required to bring everything you are, all that you've learned, experienced, and integrated, and offer it up in service to the world. When you take center stage, you will be noticed. Hello? Can you not see the star? I mean, it's shining so bright, you can't miss it. Yes, you shine brightly. You will naturally stand apart from others. This idea may bring up excitement and genuine pride or discomfort, but this is not the time to make yourself small to avoid the glare of the spotlight and potential punishment by others. It takes courage, but know that this is the right thing for you today and moving forward. So you have come so far. You have been in the proverbial back of the room, but I said moon. Back of the room in learning gathering mode for so long, and this important time has served its purpose. You must now step into the new consciousness, seizing a new opportunity to share your wisdom. You will be like a lighthouse shining through the dark, illuminating the way for others. Be careful of the voices in your head that say you can't, or you don't know enough, or who are you to shine? Literally, we said that in our collective. Who are you to shine? Right here. Who are you to shine? You're you. That's who. Yes. The better question is, who are you not to shine? All you are and all you have become is by the grace of the divine. Now it is your duty to share your gifts. Celebrate this. Yes, Queen. I love that. Need I add anything else? Probably not. I think we covered it. That was, wow. Amazing. As always, just you're in alignment and you're going to continue to quantum leap past whatever you consider alignment now. Just keep doubling it up, tripling it up, quadrupling it up. You're moving forward in a momentum that most people around you can't even reach or fathom because they're not on your level. And that I'm not saying that as a diss to anyone around you, but just so many people are not on your level that you almost feel wrong. Or again, let me dull myself. Let me come back to reality a little bit. No, this world needs you out in the forefront, doing what you're doing, because the second we're already feeling it, the second these energies really start popping off, you're going to need to be stable and secure and in place for the people that are going to really need you, especially moving forward past 2027 and beyond. But now too, also good. Those that are attracted or drawn to what you have to offer are already on your level in some way. You know, they're on your level in some way that you can greatly benefit them, and they can, maybe they're even benefiting you just by working with you, because we will start to really almost catalyze and what's the word? Like ping off each other or activate each other. You guys activate me all the time, and I love that. And hopefully I can do the same for you sometimes, really cool. So hopefully that resonated for you, Brianna. Thanks again for your lovely donation. Everybody, thanks again. And Michelle, we will hit you up next time. since you want to be held over. So I think I'm going to get off here and go ahead and make these timestamps before it leaves my brain. So thanks again, you guys, so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. Oh, I just finished your reading and it was a good one. Yeah, just literally scroll back, but your timestamp, I kind of missed it a little bit, but it's a little bit after 2 hours, 53 minutes or so. Just a little bit past that. But oh my God, you and Brianna have been so pivotal in my journey. And even Jessa, so grateful. Aw, yeah, I love that. Well, you've been pivotal in mine, all of you, like in ways you don't even know. So thank you for being here. I did my sign off. So I'm going to go, ahead and get these timestamps in the description, or not the description, the comment, pinned top comment. And then we will be here, on Friday for just a donation only, quick little check-in, fun time. I'm going to do Michelle De Leon's reading at that point. Yeah, so if she's here. If she's not here, we can hold it over till when she gets here, which is fine. So anyone else wanting a reading, we will be here Friday. So, you know, unless it's migraine or headache or integration, all the fun things happen, but I'm planning on it. Let's just put it that way. We're still playing this whole integration of energy by ear at this point, but I hope to be here Friday. All right, you guys. So I will see you then. Until next time. How do I? Oh, end stream. They moved it. I forgot. All right. Yep. I will be here hopefully. So we will see you guys next time. Bye.